All the butts.
All the butts. All right, ladies and gentlemen. We are late. Really late.
Oh wow.
But as we said, we're not. This is not. None of these are the official launch of the show. In any way, shape, or form. We're still doing audio tests, and yes, before anyone says anything, we know that the audio has echo. These mics are not the best quality. We're going to be replacing them. So that's one of the priorities we're looking at. But as soon as we get that done, we're going to expect to get much higher audio quality. Tonight, we are kind of wrapping up and finishing setting up for our Firefly game. This is going to be our regular cast for Firefly.
Hello.
To my left is Camille.
What's up, fam?
Camille, who are you going to be playing?
I'm playing Logan Moss.
And Logan Moss is going to be...
She is a Cortex hacker. She is the ops specialist of whatever ship we end up getting.
Now, on the Cortex hacker, did you take the background that you wanted at all?
That was a distinction, right?
Yeah.
I got rid of that.
You got rid of that?
She has friends in low places. That's her, criminally one.
Okay. And then Rachel, who is going to be playing with us as often as she can, and is probably going to be joining us late some nights. But we're, like I said, we're only running this campaign once a month, so it might work out, it might not. But Rachel will be joining us as often as she can. And who are you going to be playing, Rachel?
I'm playing Sparks Jenkins. She's a pilot, and a hell of a pilot. So she's excited.
And what's her background like?
So she was brown coat. She has been with the next two that you'll be introduced to, and she's just pretty much flying is what she does. It's all she knows. Mm-hmm. It's kind of.
Are you a Firefly fan?
Yes.
I know Camille is, so I want to make sure that you.
So I'm a new Firefly fan.
A new Firefly fan?
Yeah.
How long have you been watching?
The first session 0 we had was the first time I watched Firefly, and my eyes were glued to the TV.
It's so good.
Yeah, it was just the entire time.
Yeah. We've watched it a bit.
Yeah. It's so good to rewatch. It's a good rewatch.
And it's like every single time we're switching through the channels and the movie comes on, it's like, oh well, that's it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she was brown coat.
From the Outer Rim.
From the Outer Rim. Do you know what your background is? I know they're tying their actual history together.
Yeah. So she's been with them for a few years. She wasn't necessarily like, she didn't know them really like previous to. She didn't know them previous to the war, and really probably in the war we didn't really decide if they interacted. They're really like. I was a pilot, so really we probably didn't interact a whole lot. But basically, my plane crashed and they saved my ass. And they needed a pilot to get away from where we were, and I just happened to be the best there was, and alive.
The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
Yeah.
There you go.
That's me.
Gotcha. Michael.
I'm gonna be playing Henry Wright,
Mm-hmm.
a ex-Browncoat sniper. I hold the rank of first mate on the ship.
Gotcha. And you're pretty much playing battle-hardened veteran, 1,000-yard stare type of guy, right?
Yeah.
You're the guy who's you've done a lot of stuff, but you've handled your shit, as it were, more along the lines of you just haven't dealt with it really.
Basically, yeah.
It's
just
all
kinda
it's all yeah. I don't remember shooting that 5-year-old. That never happened.
No, sorry about it.
Yeah, so you basically, yeah, you're the guy who has not dealt with anything from the war.
Yeah.
You just keep on stoically plodding on.
Trauma.
Yeah, we didn't discuss. You don't have like PTSD or anything like. Well, I mean, you may have it. You just don't exhibit shit tons of symptoms. You kind of bottle everything up.
Yeah, about the closest he gets is like once a firefight starts, it's like that 1,000-yard stare. It's hard for him to switch it off. Not like he keeps fighting, but like there's definitely like a. Once he pulls the trigger, it's his gun's out, and it's not done until he cleans himself off.
Right. It's the whole I'm on mission.
Yeah.
And until the mission's done, I ain't nobody but the person on mission.
Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. Dakota.
I am playing Captain Montgomery Bates. If you could call his character battle-hardened, I would call my character battle-hunted. He's slipping as a character because of what he did in the war.
Yeah. And it's not necessarily, I don't think, and from what I gather from you two, Michael, your character is the morally gray character. If given an order, you would basically carry out the order. And that kind of is a whatever the order was.
Yeah.
If you, but you're the person who would give orders, and then afterwards, you would be the one who was agonizing over how many. Well, you would go over the battle report.
He
And
wasn't.
be like, how much losses?
Yeah.
Who did we lose? Why did we lose them? Where did I go wrong? What commands did I give incorrectly, etc.
He wasn't always like that. So, pretty much since they've known each other since childhood, he's always been the super passionate revolutionary. He was so optimistic and just so convinced that they were going to win because they believed that they could. And so I think something really awful happened at one point that changed him and cost him someone very important. And so he is trying to function, but he's slipping.
Gotcha. We're going to take a 5-second break real quick. I'm sorry, I need to take care of something real fast. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. Technical issue. All right, we're back. All right. So Dakota, you were saying that he is pretty much been. Does he question his command ability now, or is it more
Yes.
along the lines of okay?
I think that he very much is clinging to that air of like, I am assured, I am the captain, you will listen to me, but he is doing it probably more for him than for himself.
Okay. So basically, you're kind of. I have to look like I'm holding together, even though I'm coming apart.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
wouldn't say he's succeeding super well, but yeah, because of he admits to himself finally, if he shows signs of him knowing that what he did was wrong, that means that he has to know it too, and he can't handle that.
Gotcha. And Jessica, who are you playing?
I am playing Dr. Abigail Lee.
And Miss Abigail Lee is a doctor from the core worlds, correct?
Yes.
Why is she out here on the fringe?
I would say pay it back, but that would be the wrong terminology. She saw what they were doing.
You were basically, from what you remember, what you told me, you were a doctor working at one of the POW camps for browncoats, and they were experimenting on the soldiers they had captured there.
Yeah.
And you saw what they were doing to them.
I did the best I could to fix everyone up the best I could and get them out of that facility. And then I might have taken all the medication and run.
Yeah. So you also are possessed of the knowledge of, for the most part, war crimes.
Maybe.
I mean,
Yes.
you were there, you were present.
Yeah.
So you basically have that big weight sitting on your shoulders of the Alliance is probably looking for you because you have witnessed war crimes. You could test. I mean,
Which
it's
is-
still your word against theirs.
Which is why I go by Abigail Lee now.
Yeah. So you're basically on the lam and looking to keep a low profile as possible. So it makes sense to be on a ship with people who also don't want to attract a lot of attention. Now, one of the things we have not done yet, we've obviously made all our characters, and we've established some timelines and connections in between the different characters. One of the things we haven't done yet is we technically made a ship, but it doesn't really fit with the entire cruise situation. So we were looking at remaking the ship. And what were we looking at doing? Because I don't know. Before we had made what was basically a medical frigate. And it wasn't even a frigate, it was a medical rescue ship. And that ship was designed for doing rescue in space or interplanetary transport for extremely ill patients, shipboard disaster rescue. So it had like a lot of med bays
So
and
it's a
stuff like
medevac
that.
ship.
Yeah. Number one, it was comparatively a smaller ship than a transport and a much more expensive ship than a transport because those ships are top of the line med gear. You guys have even gone out of your way to make sure it was licensed to work and everything like that. So
Yeah, it had like multiple surgical bays and,
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff. So it was a very expensive ship.
So what are you guys thinking of doing instead? I mean, obviously you can't do anything that's like a fighter ship or anything like that. That's just not. That's not going to work because the Alliance wouldn't let you have it.
We can either go medical or like a transport ship. Like we take jobs to move one thing to another.
Yeah, and that's the whole point of the Firefly show itself was that what was their motto? Find work, keep flying. And so that's the whole thing about it is cargo ships are used for just regular cargo runs, and they're also heavily used for smuggling. Now, either way, I'm assuming because there's so many browncoats on this that you guys are not going to be wanting to go into the core worlds very often. You're going to stay on the fringes and try and do work out there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
All right.
Yeah.
So, what type of ship would y'all say you want? You said you want to basically do cargo, right?
Yeah.
So let's take a look at what we got for ships. Don't want to do a gunship.
Did we name our ship?
Nope. Nope.
It's
We
gotta
won't.
have a name.
Well, you're the
Of course it
captain.
has a name.
Yeah, you're the captain. That's what we're waiting.
Oh,
Don't leave it up to me. I'll give it some goofy ass name.
The Mickey Mouse.
No, not.
Marco
Yeah, that's a
Polo
goofy-ass
class
name.
bazaar.
Yeah.
Marketplace.
We could name it after our friend.
I want to bite
Whatever his
the
nickname
mic
was.
so bad.
No,
Did you
what?
name him?
I want to bite it.
Do it.
Maybe he was named. Maybe we nicknamed him after his rabbit foot that he carried around everywhere. He probably believed it worked. Unfortunately, it did not.
You want to name the ship? So it's Lucky Burns.
I like that. Yeah, we can name the ship like the Lucky Rabbit's Foot or something.
What's the god of luck?
Sorry, which band?
Yeah, which
Greek or Roman?
Oh,
I
shit.
just thought I'd ask a question.
We have the technology.
I was gonna say.
Real quick, I was gonna say
Hades
Tamora.
class
but,
prison.
Tomorrow's Forgotten Rome's goddess of luck.
That's an insane
That's the
name.
first thing that came to mind.
Dope.
I'm sorry.
We're not a prison transport ship.
Apollo? Hermes.
Hermes was the god of luck.
Yeah.
Figures. The
Um,
god of running around is a god of luck too.
So
Well, how do you think he ran around so much? Then get caught. He's got a lot of babies and a lot of places.
Bombstar
okay,
class
that's
bulk freighter.
that's fortune and prosperity.
So
of the city.
there's several types of freighters and
Yeah.
frigates and stuff like that.
You want a salvage ship?
Modern Greek gets luck.
Short range transport?
Short range transport won't work because you do have to be able to do interplanetary travel. There's the Firefly class transport. It's pretty much average across the board type transport. Then you have stuff like the Hades class personnel.
What's the
That's a
Hades
prison
class?
It's a prison transport.
Ew.
The Hades class?
Hades class.
Oh, it's a prison. I thought it was personnel. Sorry,
Mm-mm.
I didn't
No.
zoom in.
Nope.
There's the Kitsugi class salvage ship.
Still like how appropriate that is.
Was a
You said it last time.
yeah.
I forgot.
Yeah, that salvage ship is called kintsugi because of what kintsugi is.
What is kintsugi?
It's the Japanese art of when something is broken,
Oh,
putting
the
it back
gold.
together with gold.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Although quite large, the bulk of these vessels serves mainly to anchor smaller ships in place, while the crew dismantles, strips, or repairs them. All sorts of things can be found in a salvage ship's cargo hold, from the personal effects of the stranded travelers to critical and rare parts that can be repaired almost any ship.
I don't really know if that's the kind of ship that we need.
It sounds
Not enough of us on here.
large and unwieldy.
Yeah, not enough on here. Not enough of us on here are well enough for a salvage ship like this.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's the Sunstar class bulk freighter. It is not a beast on engines. It's kind of slow.
Slow as shit.
Yeah, it's slow as shit. But it is a beast when it comes to taking a beating. I mean, this is one of those ships that's designed to like fly through an asteroid field and just not worry about the rocks. Pang, pang, pang.
Yeah.
It's got the stuff is rated in dice, like your stats
Yeah.
are. The hull on that ship, the engines on that ship is only a 4, so it's the lowest dice rating of 4. But the hull on that ship is a 12.
Okay.
And the systems, which is the overall, how well responsive the ship is, how well put together it is an 8. So it's
it's
moderate, but with an extremely strong hull.
It's a whale.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like they're big cargo. Like
Yeah.
we need a whole lot of cargo.
What about
Yeah.
why don't we just do if we're gonna be a transport ship, why don't we just go classic Firefly?
No.
Well, you can always do a
Because he
Firefly,
doesn't
but not have it a Firefly itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do the Firefly class ship, but have it be another designation.
Okay.
Because the Firefly is, what's the engines on the Firefly? I can't see it on my copy.
8, I think. Go back. 10.
10 engines, 8 hull, and 6 systems.
Okay, how many of us are running?
Running?
Hiding from
Like on the
something.
run.
Because I am.
Moss
you.
is.
So.
Moss is hidden, not necessarily on the run.
To the core,
Yeah.
to the Alliance, are we technically criminals?
Wonderful.
We
Might be.
lost. I mean,
You're suspect. You're
Yeah,
all
they don't
brown
like
coats.
us too much.
All brown coats are suspect.
Yeah, basically, like, if we're ever on like
We're
a
not
planet and something
criminals.
goes down, we're the first they're gonna look at.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not technically a brown coat. I'm not Alliance. I'm medical. I heal people. I don't really care what they look like. They're naked by the time they get to me anyway.
Yeah, but like I said, the biggest issue is you
I
possess.
saw things I didn't need to see.
You saw things that you shouldn't have seen.
Wait, so are you a traitor?
She's not really a loyalist. She was a medical doctor. She had a career in front of her. Okay? I'm assuming because of the way your background is, you probably got your medical degree by going into the military.
Actually, no. Rich parents.
But how would you get just stuck on an alliance on the brown coats in a prison?
Well, no, I mean, it just, that's where I happened to be interning. That's where I chose to go. That was a choice.
They would vet the shit out of you. Especially, they're not, they
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah,
be.
my-
They'd put military doctors there. They would
Yeah.
put outside doctors there.
Yeah, I mean, I was just I was an intern. They sent me where they sent me.
I think like still for like a prisoner of war camp, but you'd need to be like a military doctor.
Yeah, I'm actually from originally Londinium. So
But I think like for the prisoner of
That's a,
war
like,
thing,
a
like
main
I really like
city
I
on
can't
main
see them
core.
putting non.
Okay.
Like a civilian doctor.
Yeah, I
There would
can't
be-
see
they
them
still
putting
would-
civilian
there would be
doctors. Yeah, they
in
still
the background
would.
that would warrant you being
the
assaulted.
only other thing I could think of, and it was something that I started to talk to you about, and you got distracted because that happens. Military family.
You would still
It
just because you have
happens,
family.
Yeah, I mean,
You're still a civilian doctor though.
yeah, but
So if you want to do the prisoner of war thing, I think you'd need to be like a military doctor.
I could go that way. It's just I've got the whole child prodigy thing going on.
That's how you got
Yeah.
picked to be
Yeah.
military,
Yeah.
I could
into
see
military
that.
Yeah,
doctor.
you could
But-
still.
Yeah,
But
but
in order to do it, if you
I mean,
want to keep the prisoner of war thing, the only doctors that they would put there would be military doctors. They wouldn't put civilian anybody there.
You could even do a thing
Especially
where,
for like a prisoner of war thing, if there's suspect stuff going on, there's no way in hell they put a civilian.
And the big
anything
thing
there.
for you, and the other reason that actually helps to dump the rich parents thing, is because you can still be from Londinium. There's fucking poor people who live inside the poor plants.
Yeah.
But your family could have been career military, and then while you were doing the whole, you could have been a loyalist, and you could have been like, I'm serving because my family served, and then you got to the point where they're like, she's a loyalist, she's brilliant. We want to put her in this program because she can help get the program. She can help with the research and everything like that. And you got there, and you saw the most fucking horrible thing a true patriot can find. That the government that they support is not only not what they thought it was, but that the government they supported is practicing immoral and unethical and fucking horrible things on people.
So I guess technically,
Right.
to your question, Michael,
Oh, that's
yes,
right.
I would be a
Okay.
traitor.
See what?
Does it
Yeah.
answer my question? Yes,
Were
you
you-
technically be a traitor.
were you like you genuinely believed in the Alliance before you saw that, and then you were just so that's cool.
The big thing about that, of course, is the Alliance's base propaganda is they're bringing together all these planets to unite them under one rule in order to help protect them, make sure things get distributed properly, make sure the outlier worlds get what they need, etc., etc. The only problem is they don't really do that.
And I genuinely believed that they were doing what was best for everybody, everywhere. And then I saw what they were doing.
And that the brown coats were stopping what was a good move because they were too stubborn and patriotic.
Yeah,
And you ran as far as you could.
yeah.
Because like I said, and that's another reason you stole the medical supplies. You needed money to get out with people.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So,
And trust me, medical supplies are always going to be useful.
And was
they're
this
always,
during war times, or do they still have brown coats in prisoner
they
of war
still have
camps?
some brown coats in prison. It's not been that long since the end of the war.
Well, the show starts 6 years later, right?
I don't even think it's 6 years
No, I
later.
don't even think it's that long.
Because they were only flying the Firefly for 1 to 2 years at most.
Okay.
Because it was time enough for Zoe to go from completely hating Wash to falling completely in love and getting married.
Honestly, it makes
So it's 1 to 2 years at max.
Okay.
And remember when they first got the ship up and running, when Mal had that first engineer
Mm-hmm.
who couldn't figure out how to get the ship off planet side.
But,
Not make me.
That's when Zoe joined the crew.
okay.
Not Zoe,
Kaylee.
Kaylee.
Otherwise.
So then it may be a year or two after the Unification War. That's why everything's also, all the wounds are still so raw.
Yeah. And then it's like, this is like a message ship, but I just don't know. I don't see us.
Yeah, so I actually still have
So, like, there's
a lot of borrowed
Yeah.
medicine.
You've been using it
Lots
kind of like
of-
commerce.
Well, the captain's
Huh?
okay.
You've been using it like as in trade and commerce.
Well, that's
Like, how far would Sparks get fighting with the captain?
I
Because
have
I also
plenty
feel
to
like
use.
realistically, even though
and or
He is the
sell
captain.
trade, and
you
that
would
might
have
have
been the one who
been
was the
how
best
they let
informed to
me
find us a
on
vessel,
their
and you wouldn't have
ship.
chosen something you didn't want to drive.
Did you hear that, Dakota? Her character's background, one of the things she has, and one of the reasons she's wanted, is she stole a lot of medical supplies.
Okay, cool.
Like enough to help you partially bankroll a ship.
Also right over my grave.
Mm-hmm.
That's one thing we haven't determined. How did you get a ship?
That's what I was just talking to her about, because I think, especially since we got out of that sticky situation together, right? Were you there that night? Not
Yes.
there, but
When
on the way
everything
out.
like ended and yeah, you saved my ass basically.
Bad night for you. And me
I got
then.
shot out of the sky. So
Bad
We
night.
saved your ass. Thank you.
yeah, okay. Y'all saved
I'm
your
such
ass.
a
Basically,
stud.
like my plane got shot out of the sky. What we didn't decide was I on your way out and you happened to like y'all happened to
Scoop her up.
Well, the
Yeah.
easiest thing for that is, if you guys were doing a fighting retreat, the only place you could retreat to was the airbase to get lifted out. You were at the airbase. Planes have to land; they have to get refueled.
mm-hmm.
So you were doing a stop, and you're doing the aerial cover for them. So you came in to refuel and reload. As you were lifting off again, you get hit. So they're coming up on the airbase while you get hit. You go down near the airbase. They take a few minutes to go check and see if there's anyone even alive,
Right.
and they get your ass and they
Find
haul you, and they start hauling you back.
Okay. That works.
Meanwhile.
And then I get
Meanwhile, you're eating Cheetos.
Yeah,
Next question.
pretty much. Moss is just happy to
Do
be
you
here.
think
Okay.
that
So-
after they lost him, although we haven't talked about exactly how, would your character still be very much in like a we gotta go, like he's functioning, or would he have shut down? Like as they're retreating, as they're running off fighting,
Yeah, my guy still would have kept like, we gotta go.
would he
We
have
gotta-
been the one to be like, we need to go see if there's somebody in there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Then probably.
My guy's very like big brother protective.
Then Montgomery probably at that point had like.
Yeah, like had to pull you out, tell you to like grab here, pull here, carry.
Yeah.
Pilot on
because he had
shoulders,
just
follow
totally
me.
shut
Yeah.
down. Absolutely. Okay. Cool.
because I was injured. Not enough like that I could still fly, but like after like I was out of there, I was like, I'm gonna need a drink and a really long nap.
It was not a good night to meet either of those boys, but you know what? We came out all the
and
better for it.
stitches.
Cool.
So you probably were you good enough to fly after the crash?
Barely, but
Barely.
yes.
Alright,
Enough to get us to safety, and
And
then
then just like, ugh.
They probably trusted her to choose the ship.
Okay. Well, I mean, she would be the one trying to. Well, what we're trying to get to is how did you get the money for the ship? Now, at the end of the war, everything was falling apart. People were running for it. There was no official armistice signed. What that means is no one was granted safe passage. The Browncoats were told to throw down their weapons and surrender. They were literally, that was the order. That was the general order was sent out. Just throw down your guns and surrender and basically plead for mercy. Because they were that badly defeated. It was that bad a defeat. So you guys, anyone fighting on the Browncoat side, be like, we gotta fucking run.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
Thanks.
So you guys would have got back to the base. You probably could have stolen some kind of ship to get off planet with. And at this point, it would have been theft. Who knows whose ships those were originally? But yeah,
Could I have been on that ship that they stole?
in the middle of a fight. Wait,
you would have been in the middle of a war
yeah,
zone.
you would have been in the middle of the war zone, hot war zone.
She said cool.
Okay, well, why were you there?
It was my ship.
Why is it?
How did you get a ship?
How did you get the money for that kind of shit?
I don't know, I just had a ship.
Get out of here.
Maybe I was part of another group that fucking died. I don't know.
Well, this is actually during a war.
Okay.
So you're made your character's on the line.
Yeah.
So
She's self-serving.
yeah. So I don't think that she would risk herself by being in a war zone.
Okay.
Because why?
Oh.
I mean, unless there was a huge score to be had on this planet for some reason, there's no reason for you to go to a war zone. You would have been self-serving. You're not going to risk your ass unless there's a massive profit to be had.
Stowaway.
You probably could just hack for money and pay for flights.
So maybe we get out of there. We realize that we have to pick up the pieces to some capacity. Maybe because you were looking for somewhere to go, or at least somewhere to
No,
be safe, right?
she's trying to hide out. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
a group that could feasibly protect you.
Yeah.
And what better than
Well, not only protect me, but I have a lot of stuff that might be beneficial to whoever could help me. I know it's worth a lot, so,
you saw a lot of brown coats. You could probably pick one out in a crowd.
yeah.
You could have come up to us and been like, "Hi." So
Hi, so, here's the thing. That friend of y'all's, he's okay.
don't say that because I think he got dusted.
Oh yeah, definitely dusted. Like
Like-
full on like platoon style.
No, like, he's okay, like, he's done. He's okay, he's being laid to rest.
Yeah.
Okay. All is proper and everything.
If you asked them for assistance, I cannot feasibly see Montgomery turning away. Especially if you can benefit them and help them pay for a ship.
Please, oh God, help me. I saw shit. I didn't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
see
yeah.
it.
If you came up with the religion and like your buddy's okay, like
No.
Henry would have popped you in the mouth and kept walking. But if you'd have been like, "I've got the money for a ship," would have been like, "All right."
All right.
Well, here's the good
No, I
thing.
don't have the money. I have
She's made it.
stuff to.
She's made it this far off out of the core world. She's on the fringe, right? So you made it to the place where you like, okay, I've hopefully lost all my tails, right? I'm out here in the boondocks. Now that you're out here in the boondocks, you're trying to figure out what to fucking do to disappear
And
somehow.
if they look like a smart group, they might be able to help
Yeah.
me.
Well, speaking of smart groups, they're at a bar drinking.
Yeah.
As one does.
Get me in a fight.
And they're debating on what they're going to do. The transport that you stole to get off planet, you probably sold when you got here, or you're hanging on to because it's the only way you can get around.
Yeah.
So you're basically looking at this and you're trying to decide what you're going to do with this thing. And you know it's not going to be good enough to do anything with. It was literally a former military transport ship, and it's not going to do any good to keep it because it's tagged military grade stuff, and anyone is going to be able to identify it as a former Bronco ship. So you're at the bar discussing what to do. You're at the bar basically just brainstorming yourself, trying to figure out what to do, and you're
I'm doing a
over
lot
here.
of-
There's
Looking at that one? No.
Is she here?
No,
I don't know.
No,
I
I'm
don't know
looking
how I'm
around.
involved at all.
Like, I'm looking around like, okay, Jesus, dear God, I hope there's.
But they're being obvious because they're not really concentrating on anything else. They have their heads together. They're talking about something. You're kind of eavesdropping on what they're talking about. Okay.
Yep.
You know that you have access to a decent amount of contraband that can be sold for a decent amount of money.
Mhm.
So you're trying to figure out how to get in on that conversation. You, my dear, are sitting there and you're overhearing them. You hear them say they have a hot ship they want to get unloaded. You know that you can turn an easy, quick buck by working as an intermediary. Taking a percentage of the sale of the ship.
Yeah.
And so you can overhear them too. They are all. I mean, they've gotten rid of most of your military clothing, but I'm assuming probably one of you still wears a brown coat.
Do you wear yours?
Mm-hmm.
You both.
So they are obviously ex-military. Everyone by this point, and this is probably just a few weeks to a few days after the surrender. So everyone knows that brown coats are on the run everywhere, and like people in your line of work are making a tidy sum fencing, former military grade equipment that they're coming out with and everything like that. So let's actually start a scene based in this unnamed bar on this unnamed planet. That is pretty much going to be all of y'all meeting. The basic scenario is going to be you three sitting there talking and trying to figure out what you're doing. Okay? You two, from two separate angles, are overhearing the entire thing. Always remember, for your angle, you can't just walk up and say, "Here, you want to sell some stolen shit."
Fuck off!
So you gotta be sly about it, and you're more desperate and obviously scared, so you might not be as indirect. But you're supposed to have ties in little places, so you know how to deal with that shit.
Have I been here for a while? Probably.
You've probably been here for a while.
I feel
It's a
like
smaller ship, and
I
it's.
feel like I bounced crews, and once I got tired of a dynamic, I kind of just left, or just didn't get back on the ship once it was time.
Yeah, or you've gone through a lot of different groups of people,
Yeah.
and you've got lots of contacts.
Yeah.
You can go out and find work if you want it, but the biggest problem you're having is no one's really got your back. You're used to it. You're a bit on your own, but you've seen other crews. You've seen the way they work.
Number one.
Huh?
Always looking out for number one.
Oh no, what I'm saying is you've seen other crews. You watch the dynamic. You watch crews, watch out for each other and everything like that. You haven't really been part of that, and it doesn't really weigh on you, but you're figuring out that if you can find something like that, it's a lot safer.
Yeah.
If you can find people that have your back. So one of the other angles you're looking at here is if you help them fence this ship, you might be able to get in. You can find a crew to work with that can get you regular work. Because they're also talking about what they want to do, and they mentioned the cargo ship, and they mentioned doing runs.
Yeah. What?
And
Firefly.
A Firefly.
yeah, and you guys also are talking about the fact that it's one of the ways you can still stick it to the Alliance is by circumventing all their systems and getting stuff to people who actually need it.
I can get by them easy.
Fly casual.
Sell it. We need to sell it. Scrap it. Sell it. Okay, we gotta get rid of it.
So, we will go ahead and start the scene up. Cantina music's playing.
Sorry, I was just imagining the Star Wars.
I know, that's exactly what I was imagining
That's
too.
exactly what I was in my head. So, like I said, you two will be coming at this from different angles, but you can come in anytime you feel comfortable, like you see yourself having an in, or you can come in anytime you want to. But so you guys are discussing what you're gonna do. So, let's get started.
We gotta sell it. We can't keep it. As much as I would love to, we can't keep it.
I would rather not sell it, if that's at all possible.
What the hell are you expecting us to do with it?
We don't have any insurance that we're gonna get another ship. We can't exactly go up to the Alliance and ask nicely for one.
No, but there's plenty of scrap ships laying around.
Yeah, and do you know what would happen if we got caught with a military-grade ship?
You get a pretty penny for it.
We'd all be our asses would be thrown in jail for the rest of our lives. I don't want to end up in prison.
I mean,
I'm too pretty for
it will be a
prison.
real fun last stand, but
Yeah,
I don't want that shit.
we gotta get rid of it.
Alright, so we get rid of it. Where do we get rid of it?
I don't know.
Easy scrapyard.
See
Don't
if
want
we
the
can get
parts.
scraps.
Okay. That's a start.
We'll find some ships, see if we can find some, see what their prices are, see what we can get them for, see what we need to get from our ship.
That's true, yeah. I'll take
We need to
parts.
see kind of what we need. We need to see gold wise. If we can sell it for more than what we need, then we can, stock up on some extra stuff.
Okay, and what do we do after that?
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Excuse me, miss.
Can we help you?
I heard you saying that you were looking to get more stuff. What kind of stuff are you looking to get?
None of your business.
Okay. Just saying, because I might be able to help with that. But y'all have a good night.
Ma'am,
I'm just on the run. I have stuff. Trying to get rid of so I can get out of here. That's all.
That's not something you just tell strangers.
It is when you're this scared. And you're just looking for help.
please, pull up a chair.
See what I mean? There's
So-
always at least one nice person in the world. And I figured it'd be at least one of you. Sorry, man.
Barger, can I get another beer?
Wade just comes walking by. She sets down three more beers, and she kind of looks at you as like, "Your friend joining you?"
I'm nursing this.
All right. She's like, she says, "All right. In that case, y'all need anything? Give me a wave. It's kind of slow tonight, so take it easy."
So, you're on the run then? All right.
Yes.
Would you like to elaborate on that at all?
Well, see, there was this war.
No shit.
It looks like
She actually laughs.
it looks like a couple of you might be familiar with.
Well, we keep that part down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're trouble.
You have no idea. I saw
Captain.
some stuff I shouldn't have seen, so I'm just trying to get out of here, that's all.
If
I'm a doctor at the hospital. I don't talk to people, I fix them.
well,
Captain.
if you are looking for somewhere safe to lie down,
Mm-hmm.
we won't turn you away.
You have no idea how much that means. Thank you so much.
Well, before we start thanking people, what's your name?
My name is Annabelle Lee.
Alright.
Shit,
How,
I forgot my name, and I think I gave somebody else's.
No,
Yeah,
that's
right.
No,
yeah, it's like,
Abigail, sorry. Abigail Lee. Sorry.
Annabelle and Abigail.
I started
That's not
with
going
A.
to get confusing at all.
She doesn't ever go by and she will punch anybody who calls her that, so.
we're, so, you say you're in a bit of a sprint. This
Who are you running from?
well, I think I know where the fuck they're running from. How close, how hot are you right now? Like,
You spent a lot of money buying this fake ID and covering your tracks, like buying multiple
Okay, well,
tickets. Multiple
I just want to know if someone's gonna kick in that door
This
right now.
version of me, pretty hot. This version of me,
Maybe you should put those back in your pocket.
Mhm.
I just want to know if someone's gonna come kick this door in right now.
No. No, those two are dead.
Maybe you shouldn't carry dead on you.
No, I carried all the dog tags of the ones that were lost.
You ain't starting on a real good foot here.
So,
All I got is 2 bad ones, sir. I'm sorry.
tell me, is there anything that you can offer us in return for our services?
Bolo medical supplies.
Those run a pretty penny.
Yeah, they do. Alright. So we take the medical supplies. What do we do with it?
Keep her in the brig and sell the medical supplies.
Give her a break.
I'm just saying.
His jaw kind of tightens at the back.
Yeah.
No, you can keep me wherever you need to keep me.
We're not keeping somebody in a brig. How are we supposed to get rid of them? Ship, that's easy. Just grab it for parts. Anybody will take it.
We know how to sell a ship. We don't know how to sell medical supplies. We
Well, then what if...
find someone.
Go back to the outer rim. There's plenty of places that need help.
Well, we need to get there, so we sell the ship first. Scrap the ship.
Scrap the ship. Find a new ship.
Buy whatever we can that can hold the cargo, and we take the cargo out there. Fix whatever's up on the piece of junk that we find.
Sell it.
Yeah.
Turn a profit.
If the piece of junk can make it.
Please,
Just one.
okay. 'Cause I heard her say that twice.
I don't know why she said that twice. That wasn't what I was trying to point
I'm
out.
just excited.
You should just drink another beer.
He just kind of holds a hand out to both of you to quiet you both. Yeah, if you have proof that you have these medical supplies, I'm sure that we can come up with a plan or find some
Oh,
way.
you want to see that?
No.
No!
You don't actually have them on you, do you?
Jesus Christ. Captain.
They're not that far away.
If you had to put a size quantity, like, is this something that we're gonna need, like, pallet jack to move, or something we can just fit in our pocket? Something fits in a bag, a backpack, duffel
No,
bag.
I have my medical coat, which fits some, and then I have my jacket, which fits a bit more, and I have my pockets and my pants, which fits a bit
Can
more.
you
And there's
carry it
1,
all?
2, 3, 4 total people, so that's a good chunk. And if we're all holding backpacks, that might fit the majority of it.
It's a lot of medical supplies.
That's a fucking hike.
You took basically, you know, the locked and sealed nurses triage room lockers.
Mhm.
She basically took the entire contents of one of those lockers.
Okay.
So it's a lot. You know, like 20 vials of morphine.
Yeah, that was gonna be my next question.
Yeah.
What kind of what?
It literally was a trauma bay unit supply set, so it's going to be everything. It's going to be high end, and it's high end because it was Alliance, and it's Alliance stamped.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Well, and that's other than the stuff in my medical bag, but that's mostly just first aid stuff.
I mean, there's definitely people that are desperate enough for it out there.
People that need it, absolutely. Okay.
I can help with that.
The value of it just kind of went down though, because it's stamped. But they'll need it out there. We can get rid of it.
Maybe we can find a fence. Somebody who knows how to fix that.
Sure, if you know how to start with finding a fence, sure.
I can ask around.
That's
What?
worrisome. Well, nothing. That's worrisome.
Only a little. He kind of smiles down at his hands for a second and then I believe in us. I think we can.
Find a ship first.
Okay.
Can I find us a ship?
We don't know anything about them, really, so
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine. Better.
I would prefer that you find the ship, yes.
Maybe don't do that.
Yeah.
Maybe don't do that. As a sniper, you really don't want to do that.
Mm-mm.
It's like, oh, you just designated the officer.
How about you find us a ship you want to fly?
It's just listening right now.
We'll figure out how much it costs. Find out how much we can get for our scrapper. See if it needs any parts from what we got.
Okay.
Alrighty, let's go talking.
What would be talking? Would that be? I
Do
mean,
you have
social and something
do you have
else's or
a
So
something
the big
else.
thing is, none of you, I think, took anything, any type of contacts.
Nope.
So it's not necessarily the
Do you have
talking,
smooth
it's
skirts?
finding the person in the dark.
I know core politics.
You're the contact we need. You're the first one that we need, and then we need you to find some of your contacts as little possible.
She's sitting in the bar.
They don't know.
She's watching y'all.
Like noticeably?
I was about to
Like,
say,
are you,
yeah.
like,
What's the role or how to figure out when someone's just fucking watching you?
Yeah, are you like?
Are you trying to be clandestine about it, or are you like trying to be obvious about it?
Her,
My boy's got real good
her
eyes.
chin is, oh, I'm sure, the sniper. Her chin is tilted, and like towards all, like her back is, it's like right shoulder, and she's just,
How pretty are you?
she's very pretty. She's cute. She's
Like,
edgy.
should we roll notice to see if we notice that?
That's y'all's discretion. That's DM
No, I was
discretion.
asking him.
What's that?
He's not.
No, that's why I'm asking you.
She's
I'm
not
trying to get.
necessarily hiding it,
Okay.
but she's not like staring.
I think I can figure
She's
it
got
out.
an
Alright, so then in that
She's
case,
drunk.
let's do a roll.
Would I notice how pretty she was without doing a roll?
Roll for
kind
hotness.
of in a really
About that one.
stressful situation. So
Natural.
the real question for that is
Would my boy
How-
be able to notice?
well, hang on a second.
Yeah.
How lecherous is your character? In a life or death, I'm scared out of my wits, and I'm trying to figure out how to get the fuck out of your situation. Are you still gonna notice these? You know,
Well, I mean, she's not talking about like that, but like everybody, even like at a bar, notices a pretty girl at this bar.
Gotcha. So you're gonna do sneak plus your mental attribute, and if you have any assets that you want to pool, that you can utilize. Remember, oh, by the way, everyone starts with 2 plot points automatically.
Okay, cool. Okay, so it would be notice plus mental.
Yes. For you guys it doesn't matter, but she's got to set the dice pool first. So she's got to roll her sneak plus mental. If you want to spend plot points for other dice to throw in, if you can do
I
anything like
don't
that.
think I have anything.
You don't have any distinctions or anything like that that give you any abilities bumps. So those are gonna be sneak. Those 2 dice. Your sneak plus your mental, and you're gonna add them together. So that is the DN. So now you guys can use your notice plus your mental, and then if you want to throw in your rabbit foot, you spend a plot point. You can get an extra D8. Okay. If you guys want to do anything like that, spend plot points for any distinctions that might make you notice it better, and that you can spend plot points. And then in the roll, and you roll pretty well, by the way. So, and in the roll, you can also spend like plot points to add dice. If you spend 1 plot point, you can add a D4. If you spend 2 plot points, you can add a D6,
And so on.
and so on and so forth. You can stage up the dice.
And how do we give ourselves more plot points?
You use a distinction, the D4 of the distinctions.
Mm-hmm.
So you can choose a distinction and find a way to add it to the roll, but instead of taking it as a D6 or D8 or whatever things like that, you take it as a D4 and it gains you a plot point.
Got it, cool, thank you.
So wait, no, okay.
What's that?
Because I hear for the party,
Uh-huh.
and she's just chilling at a bar, but she doesn't, it would be one of the triggers that I picked, right? I'm just trying to figure out when to use this distinction.
She's not.
She's not.
She's gone from partying to work mode.
Yeah.
This is I'm looking for a way to. I'm angling this as a job, not I'm.
She's doing interviews. Yeah.
Yeah, she's critiquing.
So we roll, so we roll 2 dice, and it's whatever our mental and then whatever our notice is.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Okay.
We have to be hers.
You have to at least equal it. Setting the target number is what she does. With the roll.
And mine is a 12. You rolling all those?
No.
At the same time.
At the same time.
He's made.
I mean, these ones.
He didn't tell you guys, but he's paid me money for plot points. So.
That's how that goes. Some ASMR tingles over there.
Those what are they, like specialties?
Mhm.
The things that you specialize in.
Yes.
I've got 1 in notice.
Oh.
Um,
So you throw another D6 on for a specialty.
okay.
Oh, what is
I
it?
didn't notice. Like, what's your new notice specialty?
No, his specialty is notice. Oh, do you have a specialty in notice?
Mhm.
Oh, what's the specialty?
Overwatch.
Overwatch? Yeah, that's generally keeping basically you're
Head on
like
the
a
swivel.
radar.
Head on the
You're
swivel.
constantly
Yeah.
sweeping the room.
Okay.
I don't really know if I have anything that I could add to that.
Yeah, it has to
Like
be.
focus or
Do you have a
notice.
specialty in focus?
Um,
Oh, and you can spend plot points to add other traits or skills that you think might be appropriate to it. Because you can do what they call blended roll.
And
So, like, if you wanted to say, I'm really focused on keeping an eye on what's going around, you can spend a plot point and add your focus to it, too. But you're still only going to add 2 dice together.
oh, so I only picked the 2 dice. Okay, so 14.
14. So you beat it. What do you get again?
So then I am rolling, you said mental
Uh-huh.
and
Notice.
notice. Would I have to spend a plot point to use focus?
Yes. But then you'd be rolling 3 dice and adding the 2 highest together.
Yeah.
There is a way to actually add another dice to the total, because you can spend a plot point to add in focus, and then spend another plot point to keep the focus die as well. So you'd be keeping 3 dice. But I think the most dice you keep ever is 3.
Okay. Then
Yeah, I
So
thought
we got
got
one person that noticed it, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'm gonna go ahead and roll with my Lucky Rabbit's Foot as well. So I'm gonna spend a plot point. We're gonna have
The
to.
Lucky Rabbit's Foot?
Yeah.
So you have the D8 plus your regular dice pool, but you only can do the 2 highest.
Okay. Oh god, I rolled awful. 3. That's 8.
8, alright.
Yeah, my new dice
So-
logo.
Michael,
Mm-hmm.
you definitely notice this person who is. You beat her by a full stage dice up. So you notice that she is paying extra attention to the group without trying to make it look like she's paying extra attention.
Mm-hmm.
Not
Um,
necessarily.
Oh, you're kind of like. She's.
You're baiting us.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. She
She wants to be talked to.
Yeah, she's looking over at the group. She is not obviously trying to get attention, but she's not being clandestine about observing you all.
If we make eye contact, she winks.
So you didn't notice her?
Mm-mm.
No, you're the only one who did. She had a really good roll.
Yeah, it was a 10 out of 2.
When you glance at Montgomery, you notice that he's kind of drifted from the conversation briefly, and he's looking at the rabbit spot that's on his belt.
There's somebody making eyes at us.
Who? What? Where?
Pretty lady at the bar.
He slowly turns and looks.
You have a table looking at you, except for that hat.
The one guy I
The
noticed
guy's
is
like,
looking.
don't look. And everyone's like, what?
Pretty lady.
Girl!
Girl.
Girl.
Do you make eye contact with him?
Yeah.
Then he's just gonna go.
She loses her drink.
He's gonna go
Raises her drink to her.
and call you over, wordlessly.
She will knock her drink back and then ask for a refill. And then toss her hair over her shoulder and stroll on over.
Oh, great.
Oh,
She's pretty.
Yep, you should talk to her.
She's really pretty.
is that a working girl?
Oh, you should shut the hell up.
You rang.
Couldn't help but notice that you were taking a special interest in our conversation. Would you like to take a seat?
Don't mind if I do.
Of course. May I ask what catches your interest, ma'am?
Heard you have a ship. What do you need to get rid of?
Oh. Okay.
What would you know about that?
Not much, but I know friends who do.
What do you want?
Off this podunk piece of shit planet.
Oh,
Okay.
that's easy.
Someone to
That's
run with, maybe.
Oh,
Real good at.
Run? Are you
just a table of sprinters.
running?
No, I'm a hopper. I'd say.
Right, well, listen, Hopper.
No, that's not my name.
I know.
Okay.
What is your name?
Moss.
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 Interesting.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you, Moss.
Nice to meet you.
If you can find somebody who can get us the right amount of money for a vessel, maybe we'll have the room to put you up in one. That sounds
Would you
good.
also know where to buy a, not a new ship, but a ship?
You could do a trade, maybe. Ship for a ship, depends.
Yeah, we actually didn't think about that.
I could tell.
Well, that's kind of rude.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know what their. The biggest issue is that they did mention that it is a military grade stuff, and so the idea of a trade, they wouldn't get a good value on a trade because whoever is going to take it is either going to scrap it or they're going to try and change serial numbers on it and make it change registry numbers on it and make it non-military, something along those
Maybe
lines.
she was being a jerk.
I mean, you
Just
did hear the type of ship we have, right? I'm assuming.
Stolen?
You can say that.
It's half of it.
That's some of it.
What am I working with here?
Okay.
It is a brown coat vessel, right? Or is it an Alliance vessel? What do we
Brown
do?
coat, isn't it?
Brown coat.
Yeah.
So.
You wouldn't have been willing to do an alliance or
No, I mean, or could we have?
Captain?
It is not something that anybody in the Alliance would appreciate seeing.
Or want being flown at all?
Complicates things. Okay, I can still work with that. I know people. I mean, I can do more than just get you a ship and get a ship off your hands. I'm pretty good at getting my fingers places they don't necessarily belong.
Oh, did you hear that?
I did.
Well, how about we just start with the ship, and then we'll work with why we keep you on.
Okay.
All right. Then you can meet us back here once you have word.
All right.
Nice meeting you, Hopper.
My
And
name
he's
is
gonna lean back.
My name is Moss.
So you're gonna need some time to go try and whip up some details on who's shopping right now. There's always illegal shop shops. There's always illegal ship trade. It can be found quite easily. This planet is actually big enough to where it has a small spaceport, so that means it's big enough to have attracted enough attention from people who deal in stuff like that.
Yeah.
So what are you looking to do? You're just looking to liquidate ships, period?
Basically.
Alright. So it's going to take you the better part of like a couple of hours, but the fastest deal you can negotiate will get them about 20% value of the ship.
Okay.
That's because it is military grade hardware. It's tagged. It is a military grade vehicle that the Alliance would like to get a hold of no matter what.
Yeah.
So, because it's former brown coat. And it's not anything that's going to be readily altered to do any other job other than troop transport.
Did you hear us talk about the medical supplies at all? Did you try to dig into that? I know we didn't talk to you about it directly at the table.
You can try and make a roll to see if you overheard that type of thing.
I'm gonna say she was talking so quietly. She knows, Moss knows that she has something, but she doesn't know what it is.
Okay.
And I was told to be quiet.
Yeah.
She was told, shush.
To be quiet.
Alright, so, what? So it's going to take you multiple hours. You get going to stick in the bar?
Yeah.
Do you want to spend the time to go verify her story?
Starts to wait for Moss.
I'm gonna go to the bathroom. That's what
Yeah,
I'm
I
doing.
guess one of us should go with her to verify that she has what she says she has, so we're not about to spend a whole lot of money on something that's not going to give us any money back. And then,
Well, actually, technically, you're counting on the money from
The ship.
and the money that hopefully she has access to.
He'll send you on it.
okay. He will hate it, but he'll go on it.
You know what now?
He's
Gonna go with the doc to verify.
Okay, got it. Alright. So you're going to go ahead and call up contacts and look at this. Like I said, the highest thing, now you do get some, you call in a few favors, and you know that if they can hold out for 2 days, they can get close to like almost 50% value, which is really fucking good for something this hot. But that is mainly because you're going to burn some favors to get some people to give you more than what they should, as in, you know, like, okay, well now Moss, you're gonna owe us. You know, because we'll get them, we'll get you more than what you need.
Yeah.
I need a wall piece.
Wall adapter.
Break over there.
You're a brick.
I call
She's
it
a brick.
House. Okay.
Okay.
It's a different one.
I've had 2 musical notes with 2 different people at the table. I feel great.
I'm a brick. She's a brick.
You're living.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's probably. What do you want, dirt? You need a name? What do you need?
We want something in exchange in favors.
You want something? You want some grace?
No,
You want some grace?
we want something to be later at our discretion.
Okay.
Oh, great.
No questions.
She's gonna get him killed? That's my only question.
The nature of what we all do means that we all get killed for half the stuff we do.
And they're gonna get him killed extra.
We don't know yet.
I'm not sure it killed.
But we'll put it as one closet. If it's something that risky, we'll renegotiate the total value.
Okay.
Because you gotta remember, I'm basically gonna be buying a ship that I'm gonna try and card out to make any money on.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you premium on it,
Mm-hmm.
so
No, that's fair, yeah.
alright.
I think they're gonna be needing another shirt. You know,
I deal in stuff that
do you know anyone, can you point me in the direction of someone who has a ship? I would like to return with a few pieces of good news. I need to get off this fucking planet. Getting cabin fever.
Alright. Tell you what. Tomorrow morning, take me down to the shipyards. Look for Ernie.
Ernie.
He mainly deals in derelicts and refurbs,
Yeah.
but I heard with all the chaos going down that he's got a couple of bulk transports that he has got at really great prices
Okay.
that he's gotten already re-registered. It was like, your people might be familiar with them. He says, but they're no longer registered as military.
Yeah.
They've been, all the military extracts from them, the modifications to the engines, everything the Alliance requires has been done.
You a friend of yours? Am I gonna get shot if I mention you? Are you gonna
No,
get shot?
you're not
if I
gonna get
mention
shot. You're not gonna get shot.
Are you gonna get shot if I mention you? You and her
No.
friends?
He owes me,
Okay.
so I'm going to pass that a little bit on to you.
Alright.
You're gonna pay because, you know, he's gonna be dealing with unknowns and only with my recommendation.
I feel you.
My recommendation goes a long way. But
I can tell. You got those eyes.
yeah, snake eyes. Anyway, so yeah, but just go down and talk to Ernie tomorrow. He's got a few options for him.
Mm-hmm.
Everything he's got is gonna be scratch and dent though, just to know that. So it's not. Number one, it's gonna save you money.
Will they fly?
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah. They'll get you off the rock.
If it goes.
Alright. Yeah, in that case, Ernie's your man. He
Alright.
says, there's a couple of places like people I can send you to. The reason I'm sending you to Ernie is because I know he has ships right now.
What was his name? I'm sure he introduced himself.
Zeke.
Zeke. Okay.
Zeke Tabor.
I love you, Zeke.
Yeah, uh-huh. I'm not gonna look around no more.
Distance makes the heart grow fonder, yeah.
I wish my wife would say that. Alright. Get off the damn comms before you get nicked.
Yes, sir.
Alright. Alright, so. I love John Rangers. So, you're going with the doc.
Mhm.
You two are staying at the bar, I take it?
Yeah.
I'm staying at the bar.
Okay.
He's gonna limit you if you start drinking too much. He's gonna cap your tab.
Alright.
I have a distinction trigger for that.
Have a what?
I have a distinction trigger for that.
Yes, you do.
I have an enabler.
she's a party animal.
She's just happy to
Hello,
be
lady.
here. She's here for a good time, not a long time.
What's your character name again?
Henry.
Huh? Oh, God.
Henry.
Henry? Alright. So, Henry's going with you to verify the meds. Where did you stash them?
Huh?
Where did you stash the meds?
Okay. Where are we? I was trying to plan it.
No, follow
Like,
me.
is there a barn not too far away?
Is there what?
A bar.
Barn.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Barn.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Wow. Sure.
Um,
Mist
Then
water.
soft. Then be more soft. To allow them to really, really mean bowl.
They take you out to basically a
Great.
farmhouse.
That's where they can sleep.
She goes out to the barn.
Is your character dressed like really fine?
No,
Okay,
no,
double checking.
I'm dressed like
Like you slept
I'm
next to
gonna-
a bowl.
you, except rattier, a lot rattier.
Ratty.
And you're wearing a t-shirt with a flannel over it. She is too, but you know.
What's wrong with flannel?
Okay, I didn't go
Michael
get
was
my
born in a
flannel, which
flannel.
was actually my grandfather's
That is my
flannel.
flannel.
Because that's kind of what I look like I'm dressed as.
Basically, you're comfortable.
Yes,
Okay.
Comfortable and casual.
But the clothes I'm wearing obviously are not mine. They do not fit me at all.
They,
Still want off a clothesline.
they see you
Yeah.
carry all this.
Hmm?
They see you carry.
No,
Well, I guess I need to see it.
No.
It's on its own little grab board. And it's actually got power and it's refrigerated.
Fucking hell. How long does the battery have?
It hasn't been charged recently. It's a solar battery.
Mhm.
It's got about 14 hours left on the cycle, and just from it being experienced in military equipment, it's gonna take like at least 4 or 5 hours sitting in the sun to charge because it's actually gonna be running off the battery while it charges the battery, and so it's gonna take a while to get it back up to full charge.
Is there like a
You see
window?
where I was in a rush.
Is there like a window in the barn?
No. Well, there is like a half.
Are there some like
half doors-
shutters I can open?
Well, there's half doors on the stalls. That face, because the stalls you have to go pass through. You can open the doors to the stalls, the horses, individual horses out from each one of the stalls.
Yeah.
But there's also a half door, so you can open half the door, so only half the doors
Have
are
to
open.
breathe.
Yeah.
Is there any way that
The
We
reason
could-
why it's here is in the morning the sun comes in right here. And that's where it hits.
It's also halfway covered in hay.
Oh.
okay? Well, I'm just trying to figure if can I feasibly charge it while it's hidden.
Not while it's hidden, because you have to have all the hay knocked off.
Well, no, I guess hidden by keeping it in the barn.
Oh,
I
yeah.
don't need to
yeah,
pull it
yeah.
outside or anything
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. Okay. All right. How long did it take us to get to this barn?
You guys walked, so it took you about 45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Yeah. You, by the way, paid them. The people who you gave them a decent clip of change.
And I also fixed the boo-boos and stitched up and stuff like that, you know, did my job.
So, how big is a craft board?
How big is what?
How big is a craft board? I'm trying to in my mind put how much.
See that refrigerator?
Mm-hmm.
Turn it sideways, lay it down.
And all the medical supplies are packed in that.
It's basically it opens up. You know, the doors
Yeah,
open
yeah,
up.
yeah, I'm just saying.
trays and trays and
Okay.
trays. And that's what's why
It is
Okay,
back to the
okay.
brand of,
Okay.
Yeah.
cause I might have need one.
So
thing
basically,
to another
for
thing.
it's about 6 foot long, about 4 foot deep,
Yeah.
and about 4 foot wide.
Okay, that's what I need to know. Okay, 14 hours. Okay. Made it a little more complicated. Then we go back to the bar. I just need eyes on it.
All right. So you head back to the bar. As you guys.
You want me to go with, or am I?
No, you're coming with.
Okay.
No. Ain't no way you're staying out here by yourself right now. So you guys head back to the bar. You guys are at the bar, and it's like you said. It's the waiter said it's a slow night. There's like 2 other people in the bar. You guys are sitting there waiting. I said it was going to take you a couple hours. It took you about an hour. So with the 45-minute walk out from you get back before they do.
Okay.
So you have the information, but remember, the other guy, you can get them
Yeah, so
10%, like 10 night.
20% tonight, 50% if they can, or about 50 if they can wait 2 days.
Yeah.
Zeke, and then in the morning I can go talk to Ernie.
Yep.
Okay.
About actual ships.
About getting a ship.
On the way back, he is going to talk to her real quick.
Go right ahead.
Would you pay them to keep it there? For how long would you pay them?
How long do I pay them to keep it there? Oh, I've been there since the missus went to labor. I met them in the town just last week.
Alright, well, how much longer is your rent? When
Oh, they're real nice people. They let me stay as long as I want. I just know.
did they say that, or are you just assuming?
That's what she said.
That's
He
what I need
said
to
he
know.
wants to get rid of me as soon as possible. So,
Alright.
that's why I'm trying to go, because he's scary. He has a hammer.
I do too when I pat my side. And
Well, you haven't swung at me yet.
we had to move up. I don't swing this one. We go to the bar. That's all I need to know. Just need to know for how much longer.
So you guys are at the bar. After about an hour, she comes walking back in.
Jogs back, scans the room, notices. I didn't get any else names.
Nope.
Nope. Neither did you.
No one's exchanged the name yet. Actually, she gave you her name.
No, yeah. But I'm saying that, like, she doesn't have our names. I think she might have. No, you only gave her. Yeah, so she has no idea who
Nobody
we are.
has our names.
Yeah, no one has our names yet.
Which is appropriate.
Mhm.
Hey, the pretty lady's back.
Yeah, I have some news.
That doesn't make a good
Work
face.
for, or like, I need to know who I'm dealing with. Can I get some names, please?
You can call me Captain.
It's a pretty name.
Thank you.
Yeah, what was up with that?
Mama picked it out special, huh?
He's not here.
Not here yet.
Oh. Oh, I'm Toby Sparks.
Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
we're at the bar. He's scaring me.
So, talk to a guy.
Mm-hmm.
You can get 20% tonight, or it's not a lot, but if you can wait a few days, you can get up to 50. About 50. High 40s?
Yeah.
Percent.
If we can manage it, anything helps.
So if you can lay low for 2 days, how hot is the ship?
I mean, it's a military ship, so
It's hot.
pretty hot.
Where you got it right now?
Where is it?
Where is
Where
it,
would I
pilot?
stash it?
Outside of town, you basically kind of ditched it down in this little box canyon that was decently wooded. So you kind of like buried it, nestled it down in the trees.
Okay.
You weren't overly concerned about much damage to the ship. You wanted to get it hidden below radar. And then you guys spent some time covering it up with as best you could with brush and everything like that, so it wouldn't be visible from the above or from the on the land.
It's pretty well hidden.
Cool. I got more news.
Okay.
Getting rid of a ship, you're gonna need a new one, right?
Yes.
That's
Alright.
the idea.
I got a guy.
You got a guy. I mean, we need a ship. We don't need a guy.
I got a guy who can get you a ship.
What kind of ship?
Refurbs, salvages, but it can fly. That's all that matters, right?
I can get her in the air.
Okay.
I can take you in the morning.
Yeah, I'd like to see it. Thank you.
There is a planet named Zephyr.
Guess I'll die.
Is it?
What kind of planet?
I don't know yet. I just found it. I'm looking at the stellar maps for Firefly.
Oh.
And
Well, we'll make it whatever
but
we
it
want.
is a rim planet too.
Or
It's
may
not.
not
It's not.
planet.
Boom.
It's not.
It's already where we need it to be.
Yeah.
That's all we need.
So I'll look up and see what I can get on it. So, all right. So you guys are sitting there at the bar. She's come back. She's giving you the information about probably about 30 minutes after she gets back. They come wandering in.
Immediately scan the room. Any new faces?
Yep. There's a few people who showed up. There's a table of there's a new couple at a table.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of other guys who are over at the pool table. There's about three different guys, and one of the there was a couple people sitting at the bar when you left. They're not there anymore,
Mm-hmm.
and the bartender and the waitress are still there. Same crew basically.
Okay.
And and then there's another like group of people that were there when you were there. They're obviously like socializing. They were having a good time when you left. When you come back, they're still there too.
Okay. Okay. Then comes and sits back down. So it's pretty interesting. What we're moving is it's on ice right now. It's got a timer.
What's the time on it?
Right now we got 14 hours. Till someone needs to go back out there. 13. Someone goes back out there and puts it back on ice. And it needs to get moved out quick.
Am I still here for this? Have I left?
Feasibly,
No, you're back. You're sitting at the table.
They haven't kicked me out yet?
feasibly, do you think that we could wait 2 days?
I don't know how bad was the husband.
I helped his wife deliver the baby. It came too early. So right now he's with me. Because I saved his wife and his baby. I don't know how mad he'll get if something happens. But so far he's just scared. Because he's a new dad.
So are you supposed to be on call with them right now?
Yeah, I gotta be back at 4 a.m.
Scared
Then-
people aren't safe people.
Now they might let me, since the device, will charge up with solar, I can probably get it into the sunlight while I work with mom and new baby tomorrow.
While it's charging, one of us should be there.
Okay.
It's gonna be a little out in the open.
Okay. Till
Feel a
You
little
need-
out of the loop.
What?
You got stuff?
some.
The loop we got going right now, everyone who's in it needs to be in it. You get us what you said you can get us, then we'll put you in the loop.
Wait 2 days.
Hmm?
Wait 2 days.
Okay.
You alright with that?
Yeah.
Alright.
It's 20% versus 50% on getting the price back on the ship, so
It's either 20%,
20%
50%.
tonight or 50% in 2 days.
Yeah, well, 20%, 50%, or we get in a real nasty fight and we lose our supplies. There's no guarantee that we can keep them.
We
Right
don't
now,
know how much the new ships are going to cost, though.
so
Oh,
we got 14 hours.
And the bull is really mean, so if any of you are familiar with, farms or ranches, that might help me.
Wait, is that
I'm just
the
saying.
now price?
More
Would
than
that cover
Wait,
a new ship?
Hell no.
No.
It's a hell no. Not even the 50% will cover a new ship.
Okay.
so then, you two, you three, go look at ships. I'll go keep eyes on
Sounds
the
good.
ice, and
Eyes on the prize.
you go keep
Mom and baby
happy,
and healthy.
and we'll
And-
figure it out from there.
Might sedate daddy because he doesn't look like he's sleeping. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You tell your people that in 2 days we'll be ready.
Okay.
And the prizes we call it, yeah, if it'll help you guys, it's all yours. You can have it.
Then we'll see about getting you your next task.
I hope to serve.
Me too. I'm a doctor.
Did you see that she went to me?
Well, you said you
I'm a tech.
Did you say that while you were sitting
Yes!
I missed what she said.
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 days later.
I'm just saying, whatever it is y'all got, if you need to get rid of it, it could help you buy a ship. 50% isn't going to be enough.
Then how about you go pick a ship, see how much more we need, and then we'll figure out what we do with the other stuff.
I can't pick a ship until tomorrow morning.
Well, I know, that's what I'm saying. I'm just saying the plan.
It's a date.
I like the sound of that.
All right, so you guys settle up at the bar.
Sparkles.
I'm assuming you guys got rooms and
Yeah.
like the nearest.
Well, now
We'll
that
workshop it.
my boy knows about
Sparky.
the supplies at the barn, he's gonna want to find a place out there to keep tabs on it to make sure nobody's coming in.
The
Should
only
be
problem
coming
is
in.
the only thing out there is other farms.
There's no like brush or woods or anything like that.
No, yeah.
Yeah, that's basically what he's gonna do. He's just gonna go out there and he's gonna keep tabs. He's
Alright.
pulling a sniper watch and he's
No problem.
keeping tabs on the barn.
So you basically are nestling up in the woods somewhere where you can see the farm and everything like that. Watch comings and goings all day long.
Mhm.
All right.
These people know me as Doc Lee, by the way. So if you piss anybody off, just say you're an older brother or something.
Montgomery drinks himself to sleep that night. So he's MIA until
Alright.
about 6
So
hours.
you're at your place.
Yeah.
I'm assuming you also like you maybe got in a room in like a boarding house, long-term stay type situation, not a hotel, because you've been here for a bit.
Yeah. Few months.
So your the morning comes. You got one more day before you can sell the ship off for the proper amounts.
I did
Zeke.
tell Zeke.
Yeah, you said Zeke, you're going for the 2-day thing.
Yeah.
So Zeke says, he's like, all right, no problem. That's good deal. He's like, the buyer is gonna be there in 2 days. He's like, so he's gonna basically have, and he says, all I need is the ident number of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna show up with the papers already,
Mhm.
with a new ident, and he's gonna show up with the crew boys who are gonna strip it down and get it so it can pass inspection.
Yeah.
He says, you guys just need to be able to turn over all security access and everything like that, and one nice fell swoop to him,
Mhm.
he'll have money in hand.
Sounds easy enough.
All right. He says, all right, in that case, I'll call ahead and let my buddy know that you guys are coming, and let him know what your situation is, that you're gonna be having funds
Yeah.
soon. So he can go ahead and get you started on what you want to find down there.
Hey Zeke,
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you.
Uh-huh. If you miss me, you wouldn't be leaving. Leave me with my wife. So he says, all right, you take care. Keep your head down.
Are we
Stay frosty.
Huh? Yeah.
on what?
Okay.
Facebook.
Twitch, my Facebook page, Twitch, and YouTube.
What Twitch?
Dinner underbar and underbar game.
Oh, it just doesn't say that we're streaming on Twitch. I check that.
Oh, it's wrong line. I wonder why. That's
Rip.
all. Huh?
It's a rip.
Well, why did you take us offline then?
No, it says it's sending data to Twitch.
You know what, I actually just saw
5-1 Astros.
What was it?
5-1.
Astros?
Hey, yeah.
No.
Claudia's messing us on YouTube.
No.
She's messaging us?
It's the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Why you gotta do me like that?
because they fucking worded it weird.
There's a problem with Twitch. I don't know what's going on. It's not sending the data to Twitch for some reason. But I can just upload the video to Twitch later.
Okay, no problem.
We are on YouTube. It's if you search Dinner in a Game on YouTube, we're on there. So, sorry about that, folks. It doesn't show anyone's watching, but Claudia's watching, so there's obviously some kind of issue. Maybe it's a net issue or something like that, because Claudia is watching, but there shows no one watching on anything. So,
Okay.
How do you know she's watching?
she's messaged us
Oh,
in chat,
What's up, man?
in
where'd
the
she
YouTube
say?
chat. She said,
Never mind.
yeah, a bunch of stuff, because it's Claudia. So.
Ain't funny.
So anyway, and she already said hi.
I said hi as well.
She's still chatting. But anyway, so all right, so we got you guys are, and anyway, so like I said, the morning shows comes, and you two are going to check out the ships. You're spending the day at the farm. What are you two doing? You're obviously spending the day at the farm too because you're nursing the newborn. What are you doing?
I'm going to check out the ships as well.
All right, so the three of you. All right, so you guys head down. You've already know where the spaceport was. You didn't land there, but you knew where it was. So you head down the spaceport, and around the spaceport, there's a couple of different industries supporting the spaceport, mainly like repair facilities, and there's a couple of different places that advertise that they sell both planet hoppers, which are just basically small ships for people to get from planet to planet, inside system, and interstellar freighters for transports and stuff like that. So you go up to one, and Ernie was the guy's name, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Ernie's got a little. For the most part, it seems like a used car dealership for spaceships.
Yeah.
He's got one that's like more of a personnel carrier type situation. It's actually meant to ferry people back and forth and mid-range to long-range transport. So it's got actual, more set up for carrying people than cargo. The only cargo is really designed to carry is people's luggage.
Yeah.
And then there's three other ships that are transports. One of them is in incredibly good shape, and it is, it needs no repair. The interior is fine. Everything seems to be ship shape on it. That one is a very high price. The other two are in different states of disarray. One of them is pretty much, both of them are space-worthy. So that means that they can hold a seal. They're not going to open up the vacuum of space, and that their engines are good enough to get them off planet and get them around. One of them has some quirks with the environmental system. Nothing that anyone would find lethal, but it's not exactly going to be comfortable until you can afford to get this stuff repaired. A lot of humidity in the ship, temperatures that get out of whack, and it's pretty much not a comfortable ship to be in. The other one...
So go naked.
The other one is more of a ship that the interior of that ship is in much better shape. The exterior of the ship is pretty much unremarkable, but the engines on that particular ship, they're not performing at peak performance. It's more like it's got a lot of miles on her, and she's gonna need an overhaul eventually. You're gonna pay about 20 to 30% more in fuel costs because she's burning rich. And you're going to be looking at a major engine overhaul sometime soon. Both of the repairs are decently priced. They're going to be decently expensive repairs, but both those ships are decently, depending on how much you can get for the medical supplies, are decently within the price range of what you're looking to pick a ship up for. But you're going to need to find some more money pretty soon, because you're going to need to put some money back into the ship, and that also means downtime where you're not going to be flying. So you're going to need some money as a nest egg to support you guys while you get those repairs done to those ships.
So,
I'd rather be sticky than stopping a lot for gas.
yeah, that one over there is gonna need an overhaul.
It's gonna need a set of overalls.
Yeah.
Overpriced.
That one is just gonna be real uncomfortable. But we've all probably been in similar situations.
I would rather uncomfortable than
Than
unreliable.
expensive.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
the AC doesn't work. That's it.
basically,
Yeah.
we just can't fly with the windows down.
Well, here's the thing. I said both repairs are going to be pretty expensive.
Oh,
Environmental systems are touchy.
So it'll be the
So
same
getting
fuel,
those-
but the other one will be more expensive to fly because you said it would take 20 to 30% more fuel. So
Ugh.
cost-wise, we're gonna end up putting about the same amount in, but gas is gonna be a hell hell of a lot more expensive on that one. So, it's up to you, Captain, but I vote we fly Sticky.
I would vote the same.
And thus the ship was named.
Sticky.
Sticky.
That's not what we're naming it. Nope.
We fly naked?
No.
We fly naked.
It was just painted on the side of the ship.
Sticky. We fly naked.
Sparks is like,
For some reason, the most popular ship on the line.
Ernie, how long can you hold on to this one for us?
Warren's like, I was told you guys to have funds in a couple of days. He's like, you know how it is out here in the backwaters. Things aren't flying off the shelves.
Okay.
He says, I doubt I'm going to get anyone. He kind of points at his top model. He's like, anyone who comes around here is going to have money to look to buy a ship. He's going to go straight for that one.
Yeah, the pretty one.
I know.
She ain't got no personality though.
He's like, yeah, but she'll fly straight and she'll fly forever. So you guys know that what you're buying into. I can tell.
Does Ernie look above board, or he's a contact of a contact, so he.
Ernie is standing in front of you. He's a shorter guy, kind of pudgy, wide-shouldered. You can tell that he is fat, but still in shape because he's got big, thick arms. He is wearing overalls and a wife beater. He's got grease stains all up and down his arms, and he literally has like a screwdriver and 2 wrenches in either one of his pockets of his overalls. So he's the type of person, he works on these ships himself. He's the one who does all the repair work and all of that. Selling the ships is almost like a sideline for him.
Gotcha.
So he's like, and you trust Zeke relatively well, and
Yeah.
Zeke said that he sent you to Ernie, which means that he's sending you basically to a friend.
And Ernie owes Zeke a favor.
Ernie owes Zeke a favor, which is why he's
Okay.
not trying to force you onto
The pretty one.
the one he made pretty enough to sell.
Yeah. Okay.
Sparks just staring at the pretty one like. One day.
I will, Captain, I'd like to call a sidebar, if I may.
And he's like, what the hell?
Away
is a
from Ernie.
sidebar?
It's a warrior of thought. If I'm gonna help you fence whatever it is you got Mr. Rand keeping an eye on, I need to know what it is so I know who to go to.
What do I need to roll to make sure that nobody's listening to us?
Sneak.
Pretty
Or you
much.
could just wait. That
No,
was the plan
notice.
Originally,
Notice to make sure that no one's listening to you.
the plan originally was to let her in once we found the ship.
We just found it.
Yeah, we just finished.
Yeah. Okay.
We just found it. Shut the hell up.
If you were here, he wouldn't be telling.
Notice plus your mental.
So then,
Oh,
mosquito
sweet
spray.
Would I
No,
roll on
sweet
that
super.
too?
Yeah, that's
Oh,
okay.
Would I
To
roll
love
on that?
We're a
as well? Am I
hoity-toity
helping?
neighborhood. We have a street sweeper.
Or is
Actually, it just
she
lives
said
down
him?
there.
She's eating it.
So,
Oh yeah,
we-
real
She's,
good,
but
that
she's
good, huh?
looking around to see if
Hers
anyone's
is
eavesdropping on your
Ooh.
conversation.
Do we all roll for that?
Oh no.
Just her.
She's the one who made the declaration. I need to set the DM though, I forgot.
I hope you said it poorly.
I hope.
I hope you do a bad job.
I hope you roll terribly.
I hope you suck. Did I mention I hope you suck?
Hey guys.
you know, about my new dice?
What is
They
that?
suck.
Okay.
What would you get?
I'll call an 11. You got a 1 and a 1?
I got a 3. I got 3 total.
Okay. So
He like puts a hand on his hip and looks around. He's like, "Yep, doesn't sound like anybody's."
there's people walking by on the street. There's people moving around, shopping and everything like that. But there's no one that you can tell directly like doing their best to pay attention to what you're doing.
It's medical supplies.
And
Alliance medical supplies.
a lot of them. Oh. Okay. All right. Good to know.
High grade.
From a really good hospital.
That's a lot. That's a lot. That is a lot of money, and that's
Could it get us the pretty ship?
probably not, but it would get us a cushion. Could do maybe a bit of an advance on good environmental controls.
You do this for me, and you prove that I can trust you, and you have a spot on my ship.
I like the sound of that. All right, I'm gonna make myself scarce for a few hours.
What are you trying to do? Making contacts again? Alright.
If I could go to Ernie and ask him if he knows anyone, or would it?
You don't necessarily have to go through Ernie.
Would I be best going back to Zeke?
It wouldn't be best to go back to Zeke because what you're looking for Zeke is more chop shop material.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be more direct black market. You have friends in low places, which means you have contacts. You have contacts who can basically fence anything.
Mm-hmm. I have rumor mill.
Yeah. Okay, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
Alright. So you have friends that basically are, you can run through your contacts and try and find something. So you basically go through your list of your Rolodex of bad people. And you find someone who actually basically is a drug dealer.
Okay.
And her name is Rachel Herringbone.
Herringbone.
And she is.
What kind of name generator are you using? I'm using.
Straight off the dome.
And she is basically,
Can't use that one.
Be careful talking smack to the straight out the bone.
She basically is.
Talking smack.
She
Like,
deals
I use
in
Oh, I talk smack.
drug trade,
You always talk
but
smack.
not exclusively. And she really does do a lot of pharmaceutical stuff, great stuff.
And how well do I know Rachel?
You've known her for a bit, to the point where you've done business before.
She's planet side.
She is planet side, but she is not always planet side. She travels a lot for what she does. But she is. You met her here,
Yeah.
and you have since learned that she is native here.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know if she holds a permanent residence here or not, but she's here a lot.
Okay.
So you assume she does. And the biggest thing about her is she is, she has been pretty much a straight shooter with you in your dealings.
Okay.
So that's one of the things you like. She doesn't mince words. She doesn't jack prices. When she tells you she can do X for X,
Mm-hmm.
she is. You've come to know that is her bottom line.
Okay.
And she's never been like one to negotiate prices either.
Okay. So. All right. She's lovely.
Yeah. You don't have. Now remember, you don't have a manifest of what's in that.
I have no
box.
idea what's in it. I just know it's high grade.
And you know it's
Alliance.
marked, which means that basically it's marked as Alliance goods.
Mm-hmm.
It has, they would have to completely repackage it to sell it.
Yep.
And so that would be a pain in the ass.
Yep.
But if they're selling it to someone who doesn't care if it's Alliance marked goods, then that doesn't matter at all.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're gonna have to completely repackage all that shit to sell it, to put it back on the black market, or to sell it, not to put it back on, but to sell it and not have it be traced.
I'll ring her.
All right. So she's like, she listens for a bit. What was your character's name again? Sorry.
Moss.
Moss. That's right. The phone rings a few times and she comes online. She's like, Moss, my goodness, it's good to see you.
Hey, Rachel.
And she says, so,
You home?
on the way.
You're on the way?
Yeah.
What's your ETA?
I should be touching down tonight. I've got a date. She says, am I canceling?
No, I won't keep you this time.
Okay. That's sad because usually you're profitable.
Well, I don't know. I got I got a proposition for you.
Oh.
Might have some goods.
Oh, excellent.
Something you
I
can-
figured that's why. I mean, you're nice and all, and we get along, but we've never been social.
Yeah. I mean, we could change that.
He's like,
Okay.
let's keep it business for now.
For now. Breaking my heart.
But don't break your wallet.
How does high-grade med supplies sound?
Always right up my alley.
Okay. I don't know how much. I know it's a lot, and I know it's hot.
That's how we usually do business. What's the kicker on this end? Because you're being really evasive.
It's alliance stamped.
Shit.
Yeah, shit.
Mm.
But it's good then.
All right. Oh yeah.
It's good. It's not.
Will they let me do a trace on the stamp?
That is an excellent question.
Because you know, because you set it up for me. You know, I can get a trace done that is almost 100% guaranteed not to get traced back.
You've done it before.
Like I said, you set it up for me.
I do trust my own work.
I just want to know how hot what I'm buying is.
Trace it.
Alright, I just need one package of anything.
Okay.
Just based on that, and if you give me a manifest of what you got, I can work it.
Sure. I don't want to keep you.
She's like, I appreciate it. She says, let's shoot for.
How well do you think this date's gonna go tonight?
That's why I'm gonna shoot for noon.
Yeah. Okay. Have a good night, Rachel.
That's what I'm counting on. At least it's gotten a little better now.
Don't count me out.
I don't count anything out, dear. That's why I always make money. And she disconnects. So noon the next day is when she's going to be ready to run the trace. And you know that you set up basically a little program for her that lets her run traces on Alliance med gear.
Mm-hmm.
She mainly uses it to track down any med gear that she's fencing and stolen, because depending on what the Alliance goods are, some of them she can just leave in the Alliance packaging and sell them to the outside border worlds.
Yeah.
Some of them have traces on them, and they, if any Alliance finds any of the goods anywhere, it's going to trace back to some place, and it's going to make it really bad for them. So those are the ones she'll have to repackage, so it adjusts the price that she gets.
Yeah. I guess that didn't take very long then, that conversation.
No, only a few minutes.
Okay. I'll catch back up with them. Or maybe they listen to it. I don't care. I got a buyer, potentially. She needs to know what it is she's buying, obviously. I need a manifest, and I need something for a trace. Just one piece. Something stamped.
I think that's reasonable.
Can we get a hold of Henry and have him bring back a piece when he's done?
Can we?
That's what
Yeah.
Grumpy's name is?
Comms.
We've got those?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
If the Star Trek Enterprise can have comms, you can have
Fucking nice.
So is it like an earpiece or?
It's actually more like a hand walkie.
Okay, yeah. Then he's gonna go ahead and contact Henry.
I'm assuming it's set on vibrate because you're sitting in the woods.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, your comm goes off.
Is there a caller ID?
Your caller ID.
Yeah.
There probably is, yeah.
Our ringtone is Best Friend by Queen.
Well, then it pains you to know that like his is set on vibrate, and even then it's like
It does
real low,
Morse code.
real low. Like, what do I do for you, kid?
So we need you to bring back a manifest of everything that you've got on your end, and if possible, something small so that the Alliance labels can be traced. Proof of purchase.
That is easy enough. Give me an hour or two.
Alright, don't spend too long in the woods.
He hangs up on you.
Yeah. Oh, no, yeah, like he like, there's like
Yeah.
All right, so what are you gonna do?
Is the dock in the barn?
She's probably in the house tending
What
to the
time of day
baby.
is it?
By this time, you guys went because he would spend he would spend like minutes with each ship walking you through it. Because remember, it's a big ship. Each one's a big ship, so he'd walk you through each one. So it probably took you the better part of the morning to look at all three ships. Yeah. So you were talking. It's probably close to 1-ish in the afternoon.
Baby's napping. Do I have a manifest of everything that's in this? Because I emptied one nurse's station into
When I
another
say it's
nurse's station.
it's a big thing like that, it's actually a mechanical device. And the reason you took the whole thing is because everything in that thing is registered to it. And so when anything comes out, it's auto scanned. So it updates what's in the inventory. So it has a digital inventory.
So it has something I can take out and hand him.
Or you can just, show him what the manifest is. We have camera phones, so yeah, you can just take a picture of the manifest.
Okay.
You have the total amount, what's in it.
Okay.
Has
Sure.
X number of ampules of morphine, X ampules of ketamine, X,
Yeah.
blah, 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 blah.
Just you need something.
Need something
specific
small
taken
that doesn't
out.
need to be refrigerated.
Even the aspirins are stamped.
Okay. So, yeah, just take a couple.
Ibuprofen packet.
Ibuprofen packet, whatever.
So you
Put it in my pocket.
Pepto-Bismol, I don't care. Here you go.
It makes you pink and happy.
And
So-
I had 2. Yeah.
What the hell? Yeah.
Where am I headed?
That's a good question.
We were at the
Spaceport.
yeah, spaceport, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's where I'm still hanging out with her.
I mean, you're either walking back to your rooms or walking to get lunch or something like that along those lines.
I'm hungry.
We're getting lunch. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. What restaurants are
I'm
nearby?
hungry.
There is a bunch of restaurants. The local fare here is based around what they do here, which is mainly this is pretty much a ranching planet.
Okay, then if he hears Sparks over the line say I'm hungry, Henry's just gonna be like, then I want steak.
I will see if we can get steak.
Did you say steak? Did you say steak, Henry?
I said steak.
He hands over the communicator to you.
Steak.
What do you see?
Steak. Do I see it any place that would have steak?
I was gonna say the main fare out here is pretty much meat and potatoes.
So do I see a place near?
Yeah.
There's
Okay.
a space saltgrass.
Yeah.
Let's go there. Yes. Okay, I tell him where we're going.
Yeah,
All
I'll
right.
meet you there.
Huh?
I said I'll meet you there.
Take it over.
Steak.
No, the one thing your ship doesn't have, because it's mainly a troop transport, it doesn't have a mule, which is basically transport when you're on planet.
Yeah.
So you're hoofing it everywhere for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's gonna take you how far in the sails on that?
45 minutes.
It's 45 minutes from the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the bar.
So it's gonna take you probably roughly about the same amount of time to get to the spaceport area where they are. Once you get into town, you can like hire a pedicab or something like that and get around town faster. But until you get into town,
Yeah.
you're walking.
He'll walk the whole way.
Okay, so I'm not wasting no damn money.
Yeah.
Gotta save that money for the steak
Yeah.
we're about to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright. So you head into the restaurant. Are you going back with him into town or?
Yeah, sure.
Right. Well, the baby's doing fine. It's been a couple of days since the baby was born now.
No, as long as
Mom's on the mend. You know, she's sore and everything like that.
well,
How's Papa?
Papa is.
Did you drug him?
you might have last night.
Papa is nowhere near as grumpy as he was with you when you showed up and asked to like sleep in the barn type thing. And then he was very suspicious because you did hand him a decent amount of change just for the pleasure of sleeping in the barn with no questions asked type situation.
Yeah.
But when you helped with delivering the baby and you told him you were a doctor, and since then he's still pretty curt and rough with you. He hasn't threatened you anymore. And he's nowhere near as. And now that the baby's been, mom's still in recovery, so she's not. He's basically bringing the baby to mom to get it fed, and then he's doing everything else. He and none of that. So he's basically run ragged at this point. So he's pretty much not talking too much.
That's cool.
He appreciates whenever you take the baby, he appreciates that.
Yeah.
But that. And like I said, mom is to the point where she is starting to get up and around, but she's obviously still really hurting. So. And they also appreciate the fact that you've been supplying medical supplies for her to help deal with that. Well, and the big thing is not so much the painkillers as the antibiotics and stuff like that.
Yeah, it was not the best of deliveries.
Well, either way, there's issues with that, and antibiotics are necessary. So,
They are.
So you basically, he's nowhere near as rough with you. But then again, like I said, he's also run ragged from being a new dad and
Well,
running
I was
around.
told it was going to be 2 days, so I said I would hang around and help
Right.
with, mom and daddy, and I'll even take watch for a night. I'm going to sedate that dude because he needs a nap. And
So that was basically last night for the most part.
Yeah, he needed a nap.
All right. So at this point, you're pretty tired then because you stayed up all night with a baby. Yeah, that's never fun. So you are headed into town now?
The first time,
I know.
but yeah.
All right. So
So
you
go
head
get
into town.
something to eat, yeah.
All right. So you head into town and you guys make your way over to the restaurant. By the time they get there, you guys have been served. It's good down home cooking. The steaks are thick slabs of beef, cooked to order. Comes with a giant baked potato, loaded down, and a side of your choice, and all the tea you can drink. Beer and wine are extra. So you guys have tucked in by this time.
How many days has it been since the big bad happened? How long has it been?
The end of the war?
Yeah.
It's been about 3 weeks.
Okay. Just checking.
You basically spent 1 week just moving away from that area. Not going towards the core worlds, but moving away from that area and getting the hell away from that battlefield. Then you spend another week or so trying to make your way to somewhere where you could figure out what you were going to do. And you got here and you touched down, spent, the better part of, a few days burying the ship under leaves and brush and getting everything cleared out. And then to make sure you did not get traced back, you also spent a couple of days doing a very roundabout circuit to come into town from a different angle.
Okay.
So, you took precautions.
Yeah.
So, it's been several weeks since everything went to shit.
I think that while you guys are talking, he's probably he hasn't touched his food so much, and he's kind of disassociating and just looking into the middle distance while you guys eat.
And we should probably at some point go over what that final battle was like for you three.
Yep.
And I notice I do it right this very second because it's going to be pretty much, a long period. Please.
Yes, I'm good.
So but whatever that conflict was, would be a lot of what. Hang on a second. It's a nice weather. Sorry about that, folks. We had dog issues. All right, so
You okay?
So, you guys are as I said, actually, I got totally blasted. Now you guys are eating. You two show up. You're not eating, as you said.
Yeah.
Kind of.
He ordered a lot of food and kind of has had like maybe 3 bites of steak and a bite of potato. It's just
Yeah.
occasionally as she talks to
kind
him,
of fell
he'll
off.
give like a softer smile and like nod in agreement.
And I'm assuming you're trying to go over ship details. And, weighing the pros and the cons between both ships. What are you doing?
Eating. I'm at their mercy.
The Mercy.
Yeah, I'm trying to secure myself.
Gotcha.
Trying to get
So-
into a crew. So
You two get there. It's a decent. This close to the spaceport, business is jumping.
Okay.
So it's a decently crowded restaurant. They're sitting at a larger table. They've had spots, open spots for you guys.
Okay.
So you see them pretty quickly, and you wander over and sit down, order, and everything like that. So, what's up with you guys?
Henry now has a really like bright red a wildflower tucked into the pocket of his coat. So who needed what? It's something that he's done a lot when he has to like stay out in the woods a lot.
Okay.
You know that he's got like an odd
Yeah.
he likes plants because he's just bored out there a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
So he's got a hobby.
It's extremely endearing. Go on. You got a new one.
Yeah, right.
That's nice.
Wait, first business. That smells real good. So who needed this?
Who needed this?
The package.
Miss Rachel, she can run a trace at noon tomorrow.
Noon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Alright. So I'll stick close to you then.
Sure. Wouldn't mind.
Doc will watch the package tonight.
Okay.
And nobody said you couldn't come along. I just would prefer that I hold on to this. Outside of that, when you find a ship, that's what I want to do.
It's not gonna be comfortable.
It's gonna be a little hot.
I spend most of my nights in the woods.
Yeah.
I'll take anything.
There's no breeze in a ship.
We just blow on each other.
Hey!
I like her.
We'll get out.
Alright. You gonna eat, Captain?
Oh, yeah, I'm working on it. It's not super. You
He
actually are.
he hasn't been working on it.
You're welcome to any of it if you'd like it. I'm not sure that I'm gonna eat it. I'll work on it. Don't worry about it. Stop.
Alright. So, about this time,
He eats a little more.
Yeah. Henry will glare as
Yeah.
he eats more.
Slowly eats
No, no.
more bites.
about this time while you're sitting there eating, there is a couple of people sitting a couple of tables over, and one of them keeps on glancing over at you guys, and you see it's a young couple, and after a moment, the woman lays her hand on it and was saying something to him in a very concerned voice, and he comes walking over to the table. And he's kind of looks down at you all. He's standing up looking at you, and he's like, and he kind of looks, meets. You're wearing your coat.
When
you're wearing your coat.
when he walks over, Henry sort of slides to the side, and his handgun definitely comes on top of his lap, pointing from underneath the table.
He kind of looks at you two, and he's like, and he's very visibly upset,
Mm-hmm.
and he says, he looks at you, and he says, my brother served in the 32nd. He says, you don't pay for anything tonight.
There's probably like an audible click as Henry puts the hammer back.
Like Sparks like visibly like.
This is we haven't heard anything about what happened in the 32nd. Do you know anything?
Do we?
Yeah. What do we?
The 32nd was one of the infantry units fighting in the Battle of Serenity. They were the battalion that drew the last straw and was tasked with holding the line as the other battalions retreated. They served at a battle known for insanely heavy losses. They suffered the worst. This is not well known yet, because not a lot of the details of the final battles have been put out, other than the Alliance claiming overwhelming victory and that they routed the enemy and captured a bunch of soldiers, blah 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 blah.
Do we know that they held the line, or do we know that? Okay.
No, we haven't established whether you're at the Battle of Serenity Valley, because that's one of the last battles of the war. And I don't know if you fought in the last battle, because that was the battle where the surrender was ordered.
That sounds like
we were fighting to the end.
Yeah.
So the Battle of Serenity Valley, because when they ordered the surrender is basically when the air bases when their air base fell and they had no more air support.
Mm-hmm.
That was it.
Then that almost makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So that would the 32nd was literally command drew straws, knowing that one battalion was going to have to stay behind to try and hold things up.
Protect the rest of us,
Yeah.
basically.
And so
were we part of that? Like last few, or we managed to barely scrape out by the skin of our teeth?
There was still a modicum of air support.
Yeah, because I was thinking you guys were.
We were probably
we were like right behind the 32nd.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah. So the 32nd was the ones that
I mean, we were pretty much assuming that none of them made it out.
If they
did, they're prisoners of war.
Yeah.
Is there something? Could Moss figure any of this out? Could she run a search for a name?
She could try, but you're going to be trying to go deep into Cortex systems, Alliance grade, military grade. You would basically be looking for someone who was captured as a POW or listed as a KIA. And that means getting into Alliance military grade, getting through military grade. And I'm not looking at it as our military grade security, which is a joke. I'm looking at it as something, that's actually serious, scary.
What kind of role would that be?
Hmm?
What kind of role would that be?
Right now, nothing. You would have to go get into your heavy duty gear and everything like that. For doing it. Yeah.
Would no core politics be at all useful with that?
Would you have any idea where any of those boys ended up?
Yeah.
You might.
Some of them, yeah.
You could go ahead and core politics is not going to give you that knowledge.
Yeah.
You were working at that facility weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it would have been you would have been leaving right around the time that this battle happened. So there was plenty of other POWs before that. The Alliance, the Browncoats,
But I do have an eidetic memory.
Yeah. So you didn't hear his name, but then again, like I said, you would have left before that battle actually happened.
I'm gonna wait to say anything until he gets back.
Right.
There's a creepy bug upstairs.
Oh no.
Oh
Red
no.
messaged me and was
What
like,
kind of creepy bug?
come here. I was like, I can't right now. So she's like, I need you. And 10 exclamation points. I was like, what's wrong? A creepy bug. Come here. In a minute. She's like, I need you now. I was like, Red, wait. She's like, I can't cut. And then she's like, come here, Rachel Hope Miller.
Your own daughter middle named you.
Yeah. I'm like, soon, calm down.
Mine does it all the time. Do we need to take a break? Because there's
take a little
bug
break.
killing.
There's bug killing happening.
Battle of the creepy bug.
Let us take a break. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. We are back from a very short break. So we were discussing real quick the final battle that you guys participated in. And we have decided that it is the Serenity Valley battle. So it is the big final order to surrender, decimating defeat. And one of the things you were talking about is that your character was forced during this horrible transition. You were forced to make a morally reprehensible decision, but you did it for better-ish reasons, good reasons.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah. So basically, what it was is, as you guys were going up to get to the airstrip, this is before the surrender was ordered, okay? But this is when the general retreat was ordered. So as you guys are trying to get to the airstrip, the cat again.
Yes.
Oh.
She hates me.
No, she loves you. She wants to make you lead like everyone she loves. I'm gonna try. If you could help me figure out how to end this up to where it's shorter. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. So anyway, so you basically when you guys got to the airport, and
It was just the three of us left, right?
it was just
Out of our
you two
squad.
and your good friend that you haven't named yet.
Thumper.
Oh no,
Thumper.
his name I did.
nicknamed him
I
Thumper.
did name him. His nickname was Thumper. His name was Hal Oakley.
Oh, okay. So when you guys got there, it was you three. And you haven't gotten to her yet, right? So you're trying to, and that could have been it.
We
You're
had
trying
just-
to get to her down fighter, and as
Did
you
they hear the order to surrender?
yes,
Okay.
yes,
We had
went
just
on all
gotten the
bombs.
order to surrender. We had just realized that the battle was
Which is why we
over.
were like, fuck this shit, we gotta get.
Yeah, and it
Well,
was.
no, the general retreat was fall back to the airbase to be airlifted out.
This was surrender. They told us to give up and to give ourselves to the Alliance.
Yeah,
Yeah, we said
Yeah.
fuck that.
Yeah.
because the reason she got shot down is because as you guys were falling back to the base to get airlifted out, the Alliance finally broke through the orbital defenses enough to get their air support in, and they began shelling the base, and their fighters began coming in and strafing the base. And she was basically trying to lift back up and get off land, and that's when she got shot down. You guys were making your way to check her plane when the general order of, that's it, the base is gone, we have no way of getting you guys out, there's no help coming, we're not sending anyone else in there to lose them as well. You guys are on your own, surrender. And just as you got that order, you guys ran into an Alliance patrol. Now, patrol, way too many for you guys to take on with only the three of you. So you guys, she gave the order, we're going to split up to get around the patrol. What she did, and she's still debating about whether you heard this or not, but what her character did, what he did, was he ordered you guys' buddy to go into a position where he was obviously going to be spotted by the patrol. She sold him to them to give you guys a way to get around.
He probably would have noticed because he would have like set up real quick, sniper, like not taking his eyes off that patrol and kept eyes on it. So he probably wouldn't have noticed.
Yeah, and I don't think that the guy who I don't think that Hal realized either. I think that he realized what was happening and made a choice in the split second that he had, and just turned and clapped him on the back and was just like, "I need you to go that way," and he said, "Done."
Yeah, and he basically moved in front of the patrol. Whether he lived through it or not, I don't know if he would have, gone down fighting or if he would have.
What did you tell Henry?
What happened?
Because he's gonna notice that Thumper ain't there. So what did you tell
He said
Henry in
that
the meantime?
he was not strange about it because I'm sure that you could be like, "Oh, he's traumatized," because he looked traumatized. He looked shell shocked and super out of it. But
So Henry knows something happened. You just
Yeah.
haven't told him what yet.
yeah,
Okay.
he said that he did make it. That's all he told you.
Then Henry wouldn't have pressed it any further.
Yeah, he would have gone down fighting. Literally, his whole thing was that they would go down fighting if they had to.
Gotcha. So basically, you guys started moving around. You heard the gunfire. You heard the yelling. You may have even gotten to a point where, because you were circling around, you may have even gotten to a point where you saw the exchange of fire going back and forth. So I don't know if you saw him fall or not, but
I certainly did. You might have. Honestly, you couldn't have been that far away.
No, yeah. She said definitely saw it because Henry wouldn't have taken his eyes off that patrol for a second.
Would you
have seen it in your scope and everything?
He would have been
Love
popping
that.
shots.
he would have? That would have revealed your location.
He might have found you as he was making his way slowly and quietly out into the open and been like, don't shoot.
Okay, well, no, yeah, that's all I needed to know because I didn't know we were trying to stealth around. I thought
Yeah,
this
that's
was
what it was.
That's why you're splitting up.
I thought this was an open fight.
No.
And
You're
you
trying to
were
avoid the
Getting
patrol.
away.
You were trying to get
And
out
what
there.
she told Henry or Hal was, we're gonna, without you hearing, she told Hal, we're going to split up to get around this patrol.
Okay.
So you go that way, we're gonna go this way, circle around, and
But
we'll meet
he
up on
sent
the
Hal
other side of the
directly
valley.
into the patrol.
But he sent Hal directly to the path of the patrol.
Okay, then never mind. Yeah, then Henry would have seen it then. Because he would have kept eyes, but he wouldn't have fired a shot if he told him not to.
Yeah.
Stop looking at me like that.
Talking to the cat. All right, so you guys, so that was basically, there's your, one of the many ghosts that you have. So, you guys sitting there at mealtime. You've got the token you need. Oh yeah, and that kid is like, and he's like, so he's still waiting. Like I said, the
He
30.
asked us if we knew anything.
Yeah, the 32nd was the unit that was tasked with the job of being there.
Protecting the rest of us.
Montgomery, upon him saying that, stands abruptly,
Mhm.
enough so that his chair kind of teeters for a second,
Mhm.
and he just says, he's gone. And he's gonna walk out. Just like that.
And the moment that she said that, he was standing there and he was like just taut like a fucking wire. He was just like waiting. But the moment she says that, it's like that little wire was clipped, and his shoulders just rolled down, and he stands there for a couple of seconds, and his eyes just go completely unfocused, and
You've
he
seen that
kind of
before.
like.
Check that out.
He kind of like looks off a little bit in the distance, and he says, he kind of looks up and he sees you walking away, and he looks at the rest of you, and he says, it's obvious he's in shock, and he just looks at you, and it's like just half their voice is just like, thank you. And he goes up to the counter, where the little cash register is. He says something to the person behind the cash register. He slaps down a bunch of credits, and then he turns around, and the woman jumps up from the table, and she kind of like following the cash register, and he walks out of the restaurant. Where did you go when you went outside?
He right outside the door and just leaned against like the wall directly beside it.
That's a good
That was
idea.
not trying to kill you.
I know, it just elbowed the crap out of her.
He's like, I'll take a blow to the head, perhaps.
Yeah,
Not very smart
that's
cat.
so cute.
But no, he's so you come out the door. You as you're standing out there, and you're basically just trying to get composure.
Mhm.
He comes walking out the door, nearly runs into you. His face is a mask of grief. And the woman is walking beside him, and she's like trying to grab his elbow as he's just making a beeline down the street. Didn't even really acknowledge your existence, making a beeline down the street. And she's grabbing him, and she's reaching, trying to grab his arm, and she's like, Freddie, and she turns around and she looks at you, and she turns and looks at you, and she's like, you couldn't even give him hope?
I did. If he's alive, then you would be happy to know instead that he hadn't made it. Have a wonderful evening, ma'am.
And she kind of looks at you, and she throws up her hands, she spins around, she goes running off after him down the street. So the rest of you are sitting at this very happy table.
Sparks probably would have like stood up after the captain stood up. Like she's not gonna chase after him, but like just like
The captain just stood up and kind of like old habits die hard sometimes. Like
You snap to, basically.
yeah.
Especially when situations are tense, you fall back on training type situations.
Yeah.
Henry doesn't move.
Like, fuck that
You
kid.
okay?
Yeah, Moss is just.
Yeah, he got very good. Your food comes.
Yeah.
And the waitress is like, "Oh, that nice young man here for all your meals."
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would prefer to 5.
Good Lord, we have cat invasion going on today.
Hey, bud.
You gonna stay here?
Okay.
Henry will walk out,
Alright.
just to the door, to the captain. Not say anything, but just kind of walk around beside him and just lean against the wall.
What's in the chair? Okay.
Because
Oh.
he's your pal and he's always by your side.
Yeah. He
You're basically standing kind of like.
was standing there with like one hand, especially after what she said to him, like one hand raked into his hair, and the other one is just like just going over that rabbit's paw, just over and over again.
Mm-hmm. So she treats the rabbit paw sometimes like a piece of worrywood is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And so it's almost a tactile thing. I don't know if you ever actually held a rabbit's foot.
Yeah.
But they're silky smooth.
Yes, they are.
So, and you've almost worried the fur off of one side of it, basically, from this repetitious gesture.
Took me 3 weeks.
So, what are you guys doing? You're outside. You guys. Oh, sorry. Your food comes. You're not there. Your food is put down in front of you.
I tuck in.
Okay.
Yeah, I gotta eat real quick because I gotta get back to the ranch and, do what I said I'd do. So I'm just.
You've already basically pretty much finished eating.
Yeah, we
You've pretty
did.
much finished eating.
Yeah, I've got like my hand in my pocket and I'm like fiddling with something in my pocket.
So, how long does it take the captain to get her composure back? Or his composure back?
I'd say he doesn't speak for a few minutes, just kind of sits there breathing, and then finally pulls his hands out and like forces them at his sides.
She really wants to play.
And all he says is, "We should be getting back inside." And he's gonna just push off the wall and head in.
Henry will take a second and like smell the flour that's tucked into his pocket. I'm just gonna like pull his coat and walk back inside. I'd probably re-snap his handgun because it's probably been unsnapped this whole time.
That's what I was figuring.
Yeah.
You put the hammer back and put it in its holster, but you didn't necessarily snap the holster
Yeah,
back.
and he snaps it back, yeah.
So you guys, one thing you know is out here is that these are the people that the browncoats originally fought for. These outlying planets and stuff like that, these small planets that had no real representation.
These are our people, right?
Yeah, these are the people that you originally, that originally were the reason for the rebellion. So there's no shortage of support for the browncoats out here. There's just also a lot of people out here who they only wanted independence so they could be left alone.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people out here who are basically kind of like, we love the browncoats, they went and fought for us, but we don't want any more trouble.
Yeah, please go away.
Yeah, now it's over, we don't want any more trouble. So someone stepping up and actually identifying you and asking questions like that doesn't happen too often.
Okay. I'm glad that we treated him with the most respect.
Don't say we, that was all you.
And
Yeah, you're right. Shit.
Right. So,
No lies.
Sparks is still standing up when you come back inside, just like.
Henry step up. He's gonna have a real nasty look on his face. You know, if we was still out there, I think I'd shoot you.
Me?
Why don't you sit back down?
She sits back down.
All right, so the rest of the afternoon passes in, or the rest of that meal passes in uncomfortable silence, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
And
Henry actually doesn't stay for very long. He's just gonna pick up the baked potato, and instead of staying with her with the package, instead he's gonna pocket it to Sparks, and he's gonna head back out to the barn.
I'm assuming you're going back out with him. All right.
There's a reason I was tucking in so fast.
Oh yeah, I know. You said so. You said you had to get back out there.
Yeah.
So you guys start heading back out. You can make it back out there. You spend the rest of the evening in the woods. You go tend to the barn. The next morning comes, unless anyone had anything to say. One to do. The next morning comes. You get you're supposed to meet her at lunch, right? Noon. All right. So you get away from her rather early, about 9, and she's like, "All right, so I can meet anytime from now to noon."
All right. I'll bring someone. I don't know who has it right now. I know you do.
Oh.
Moss doesn't. Moss
Oh,
doesn't
that's
see
what you're
that
saying
shit.
to her. Okay, sorry.
I'll bring it by. Where can I find you?
And she says, "I'm working out of the office today. I figured it'd be nice to look legitimate."
All right.
She has a very small pharmaceutical sales company that she uses basically to launder money.
She pens,
Yeah.
mouse pads.
Yeah. Yeah, the usual setup of, walkers, wheelchairs, crutches,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And so, but she basically is, at the office today. So, who else going where? What are y'all doing?
Still at the barn unless someone lets me know.
I'm assuming you had a pretty rough evening.
Yes.
Where's the
I'm not sure he did much more than just blindly wander. And just
Wander
wait.
around town?
Yeah.
No sleep at all?
If he did very little.
no sleep till
Starts back to the bar.
So you guys, you're at the barn, so you two head out.
If you guys specifically ask, I'll join you guys. But
Are you going with him, or are you what are you doing?
He's out of commission right now.
I figured as much.
Yeah.
All right, so you guys start heading over to the, and like I said, it's,
No.
what?
The manifest, but I.
Oh,
yeah, because I
Yes.
had it and I gave you.
Okay,
I gave you both.
okay. Yes,
Okay.
yes, I do. Just
It
kidding.
was like you have the traits,
Just
but you don't have
kidding.
the manifest.
All right, so you guys head out back to the barn, back to the out to the her little
Her shop.
shop. It's pretty much like a front office,
Yeah.
and then there's a back area that has dusty boxes of medical supplies that have never been sold. And so, but you walk in, and the doorbell chimes over the doorway, and she comes walking out of the back. She is dressed in basically pretty much decent business attire. It's obviously tailored to her. She is very put together. She's about 5'9", brunette. Yeah, she's 5'9". She's brunette. She's very much on the slender side.
Yeah.
She's got a very athletic build, with a lot of tendency to run lean. So like her wrists are very, very thin. Her fingers are very long. She's got angular features.
Yeah.
There's always some Asian influence in her blood somewhere, which is common. And so, but she is sitting there, and she comes walking out the back, and she's like, Moss, how goes things?
Changed my hair.
And he's like, I
It was
noticed.
pink last time you saw me.
Yeah. Well, you know what? You do what makes you feel good. That's the
Yeah.
whole point, isn't it?
Feeling blue lately, so.
And he says, well, maybe after this deal, you can have some cash and go get it redone.
Yeah, I'd like to go green.
Symbology is everything, isn't it? So, what are we here to discuss today? I do believe you have something for me.
I do. This is Sparks.
Oh, I thought she was a gift. She says, all right, Sparks, Manifest.
Okay, I'm gonna pull it out and hand it over.
She goes, and you basically have to take several screenshots.
Yeah.
It's just like, not bad, not bad. Oh. Yeah, this definitely a market for the. Okay, yeah. So we can do business on that note, but the final price will be determined by this. She holds out her hand.
The trace.
She's like, okay, I mean, I have no authority, but I don't recognize the markups on this. She says, so should I bother, or do you want to just go ahead and run it yourself?
I can run it.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you wrote it, so.
Yeah.
All right. So she says she kind of like gets up, she pulls a chair out from the desk and the computer. All right. So, go ahead and give me your Cortex.
Like my operate?
Yeah, operate Cortex.
Okay.
And your mental. And you can spend points for other items if you like. I do believe you had distinctions.
Yeah, I have Cortex Technician, and then I have I'm working here, which is for timed actions. So this isn't a timed action.
No, but you can spend Cortex Technician and a D4 if you want to, and get a plot point for it. It still gives you the D4, it doesn't give you the full dice.
Yeah. No, I do a regular.
Well, no, what I'm saying is you can spend it, it doesn't cost you a plot point to spend it like that.
Yeah.
And it gives you a plot point.
Yeah.
And just in case you roll like a 1 or a 2 and you roll a 3 or 4 on the dice, it
Yeah.
gives you a backup. So basically, you get a third dice to roll, you get a plot point for it, which you can hang on to, and then it's like saying, I don't need to use this, I can use it, I don't need it for this particular roll, and even if I don't get a good roll on this, then I at least get a plot point out of it.
It's like guidance.
Kind of, sort of, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So it doesn't count towards the total unless you want it to.
Yeah. So my mental, and then am I doing operate?
Yes.
Okay. Is this Cortex?
Yes.
Okay, so that's my D6 because I have specialty.
Yeah, you get the regular dice from the Cortex, and you get the extra D6, and then you can do the D4 off the other one, so you get a free plot point out of it. So that's your dice pool, but you're only keeping 2.
I'm only keeping the highest 2.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. That's not great. Yeah, 7.
7?
Yeah.
Okay, let me see how bad this is.
That was 2 1s. Yeah. Ouch.
Now remember, you can spend a plot point, including the one you just rolled, to keep another die and add it to it.
I'll do that and make it an 8 then.
Alright, so you start running the trace. Everything starts going haywire almost immediately.
Fuck. Sorry about that.
Instead of going through the usual medtech stuff, it goes almost straight to Alliance Defense.
Fuck.
This is all flagged as this material all came from some place that is definitely an off-books military operation of some kind. That's as far as you get before you are completely locked out of the system. Now, you have that ability that lets you
My
not... Huh?
My smoke screen?
Yes. Did you employ that?
Can I now?
Yes.
Okay, so what is that, a D8?
Well, basically, it's a Cortex use with the you have to spend a plot point to use it, and that's okay. Well, I'll let you do it now. You can spend a plot point retroactively.
Okay.
Because I don't think I explained it properly. If you want to use that smoke screen, when you're doing a hack, you have to spend the plot point and use the D8.
Okay.
Okay? And that if you don't do that, you're not utilizing the smoke screen. Okay. So you're basically open to being traced.
Okay.
So if you do spend the plot point,
Yeah,
it's
I
basically
would.
saying I'm not going to get traced unless the discrepancy between the target number and what you roll is huge.
Okay.
All right, and that's like a whole step of dice. So roll another d8. See how high it is.
4.
4. So what was your total? Was 7?
It was 8.
That's 8.
Yeah.
So you have two choices. You can spend. You already spent a plot point to bring it up to 8 because you had all the ones,
Yeah.
and so you can't spend any more because you only keep 3 dice. So you can choose to replace that extra one you spent for the plot point with the 4 instead.
So make it 11.
Making 11.
All right, which is good because it keeps it from going 2 steps.
Okay.
I rolled a 16.
Okay, yeah,
So-
I would do that.
So because that's between the D4 and the D6, so it keeps it at a D4. So it's only 1 dice step up. That's how you do the discrepancy between the plot points. If you can go 1 die up, that means that your number or my number beat the target number by 4, then that's a degree of exponential difficulty. And then for each die up you go, it's either better or worse depending on who's it's in favor of.
Yeah.
So you basically managed, even with your smoke screen, for a few moments there, you're scared. Because whoever's coming after you is good and fast. And they are quickly following paper chase down. You get out of there in time to know that they've gotten everything narrowed down to something in the Callister system, which is where you're at. But there's like a dozen planets here, or more. So that have people, that have places that you can make this type of contact through. But they got that close before you dropped out. So this is hot. She's not gonna be able to. She's gonna have to completely repackage this shit. She's looking at your face. She's like, Moss, why are you bleached white?
I respect you too much to try to lie to you.
You do not have a poker face currently, so
Yeah, you gotta flip this fast if you take it.
Am I flipping this or am I rebranding this?
You're gonna have to rebrand it.
Okay. I appreciate the honesty. I know places I can run this out to, and they won't give 2 shits if it's alliance or not.
All right, up to you, but they know to the system where it is. They're on this, and they're faster than I am.
Well, that's some humble pie. All right. I tell you what. We know what street value is on this stuff, and it's significant.
Yeah.
But I can't use the original packaging. I'm gonna have to find someone to repop it, and then I'm gonna have to get rid of all this indent shit. So I'm gonna take that on myself and that risk on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And from what you told me, I'm also gonna have to start moving this shit around because they're gonna be now coming out this way and looking.
Yep. What the fuck did that little doctor take?
I don't know anything about that.
I'll give you 40% street market value.
That's the best we could do, given the circumstances.
All right.
Is that gonna be enough?
Sure.
You don't have any idea what 40% street market value is on
Not a
pharmaceuticals.
clue. Talk to me about ships and I'm good, but I have no. I'm trusting you, stranger, on this. So.
She says, all right.
Hey, hot stranger.
Mhm.
Don't
All right.
fuck us.
So here's the deal. We'll go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and as soon as we do the handoff, you will have funds. And I suggest that you guys take whatever you're doing and get the fuck off planet.
That's the plan. That is absolutely the plan.
All right.
We're doing this to get a ship so we can get out, so.
All right. So let's set a drop for as fast as fucking possible.
Okay.
How soon can you think you people can have this stuff around? Or do I need to go somewhere to pick it up?
It's a,
Somewhere to pick it up.
it,
I think it's secure somewhere. I don't think they want to risk moving it
We
unless
probably-
we're selling it.
From what I have heard you talk about how like the situation that it was in, like a kind of a big.
They both
thing.
mentioned the barn.
Okay.
It's in a barn at a farm.
Okay. So
imagine you also have comms straight to Henry.
Oh, yeah. Uno momento, por favor.
Is Spanish in this world?
Yeah.
Okay.
What the fuck?
Chinese is one of the primary languages.
Okay.
English and Chinese.
Okay.
Hey, Henry.
Yeah.
By the way, we all need to learn how to cuss in Chinese.
So what we're sitting on is like molten hot, like moltener than molten hot,
Sure, I
It
get
is
it.
hot fucking lava.
hotter than hot fucking lava.
All right, you guys. need to work
But
on
we've
that.
got a deal
All right.
because we're awesome. And so where do we want to meet I need a point of where I am not good at this. Why am I here? She says it out loud to herself.
Your
Just like,
captain's useless. That's why.
how do we want to do this?
Can they come here?
I can get a mule out there wherever he is. That's
It's about, how far out are you?
About that far.
About 45.
45 minutes walk.
Okay.
So
It's
you're
about-
probably looking at about a mile.
Can I just send coordinates, like a GPS
Yeah.
location? Then I'll ping that to her.
This is where it's at.
Send it over to her. She's like, I can have. She's saying this loud enough to where hopefully you pick it up. She says, I can have some boys out there in about 30, 45 minutes. I just got to get the boys set up. He says, that's a farm.
Yeah.
He's like,
Yeah, sure.
you guys make a deal with the owner. This is gonna be good. I don't want my boys coming out there and getting peppered with rock salt from some angry farmer.
Well, you should let me know when you're stepping through, or else you're going to be peppered with more than rock salt.
I told you, for 30 to 45 minutes, we should be the only people coming out there.
All right, you're going to need something to keep it covered. It's floating on ice.
This is, the mule will be a box cover.
All right. I'll let my people know. Come on through.
It's all right. 30 to 45. And she says, in the meantime, we'll take care of that. As soon as our boys confirm that they have the content in hand, I will hand you the money. So we'll just have some tea and crumpets and wait like dignified folk.
Food. Thanks, Henry.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Dude, get off crumbs already.
Well,
He
it
doesn't
is
say that to the
11
cows, but
o'clock
he's
at
definitely
night.
like, get off
I
crumbs.
think we have done plenty for the evening. And
Thomas was like early in the morning.
no, I meant
No, right now.
reality. It is
Right
11
now.
o'clock at night.
She's lost in the sauce.
So I think we can wrap this up for the evening, and
Who's gonna tell Montgomery what you guys decided to do? All right.
That's what I was going to do immediately
I
afterwards.
figured.
Yeah.
I figured there
Henry
was
was going to call
communication
you,
line.
and then he's
Anything,
going to call the doc.
anything I ever tell him, I know will get back to
That's
you.
true. That is
So
absolutely
I'm
true.
not worried about it missing communication with the captain because I know if it gets to Henry, it's getting to the captain. I've been traveling with y'all long
I
enough.
honestly kind of like this system. I like the random generated target numbers, and I can set parameters anything I want. Like that one, I made that roll decently hard because I knew it was coming up against him, against her, and so it really is kind of odd because even if it's decently hard, I can fucking roll. And then I have to spend my plot points, my version of plot points, to get my stuff up. So it's neat.
So I earned one and then immediately burned it to use it, and then burned another one. So I'm sitting
Yes,
at
you're
one.
sitting at 0.
You said it went total.
No,
Okay.
she gained one.
Oh, because she gained one.
But that's what I'm saying. Whenever you can use that D4 in a roll, where it's
You get a plot.
you get a plot point, you can work it in. You guys should try and do that because I need to be better about giving out plot points, but it's also a mechanic for you to generate your own.
Yeah.
We can only use the ones that are like checked off currently.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and that D4 one is checked off in all 3 of them.
Yes.
So if you can use any of those distinctions to get that, you can generate those plot points yourself and not have to rely on me to give them out.
Okay.
And then you can build up a plot point pool to then power things going forward.
Cool.
All right.
Huzzah.
Ta-da! Well, the Cortex system is really interesting. I like it a lot. Firefly is going to be. We're going to. Trust me, this wasn't a super action-packed game, but Firefly is a game of.
Are we still live?
Yeah.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Big damn hero stuff.
Yeah, you saw that. They
I
saw that.
did.
The whole world saw that.
Yeah.
I got no shame.
Yeah. But you know, you're just trying to be as adorables. So we've got.
My jaw was locking. That's what I was doing.
I know. You're working your jaw. This show is going to go on a once-a-month rotation. We are in the middle of our work week, I guess, because we do 3 weeks on and then 1 weekend off. So next weekend is going to be
Monster and Tal'Dorei.
Monster Week in Tal'Dorei.
Yeah.
And then we're
Is that
going.
off?
Oh, we didn't
Yeah,
talk
the
about
next.
Tal'Dorei, but yeah. So we're going to Monster and Tal'Dorei, and then it's the weekend off.
My Halloween body.
It's my mom's
Yes.
birthday. I can't go. It's on the 26th. Like it's on the day.
So, but in the meantime, we'll go ahead and wrap this up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in. Who tuned in? Thank you, everyone, for who is going to listen, because I've noticed we've gotten a lot of replays, but not a lot of live views. But we do broadcast on Friday and Saturday night.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hard.
Fair.
If anyone, all the regular gamers are gaming.
Yeah.
True facts.
Yeah, so we get a lot of rebroadcasts on that. We thank everyone else much for coming up. And we hope everyone had a good time and enjoyed everything, and we will see you all next time.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, fam.
Good night.